Back at the Sweet Erickson for another year, the best of Wyoming converge in Casper for one frenzy of all-star action. Senior athletes from all corners of Wyoming come together to form North versus South. The 2019 Wyoming Coaches Foundation All-Star Weekend is live on mylocalradio.com for a fourth consecutive season. For the North,
Alexa Caballero of Worland,
Kristen Clausen of Arvada Claremont,
Taylor Lee of Sheridan,
Paige Powell of Cody,
Grace Dubé of Natrona County,
Ellie Olson of Buffalo,
Grace Trendle of Wright,
Micah Rogers of Hewlett,
Ashley Stephan of Shoshone,
Aubrey Stenerson and Hartley Thorington of Powell,
and Lauren Steveson of Newcastle.
For the South,
Olivia Pacheco of Rollins,
Janae and Leona Tiger from Cokeville,
Olivia Muir of Star Valley,
Hayden Rhodes of Douglas,
Ajahana Archuleta and Kaylee Critchfield of Evanston,
Haley Anderson of Southeast,
Katie Banks of Green River,
Allie Bugis of Mountain View,
Cassidy Nilsson of Lyman,
and Ashlyn Tittenzer of Laramie.
live and online exclusively on mylocalradio.com. Let's head courtside for pregame coverage.
Welcome into the Sweet Erickson Center live from Casper College as we set to bring you the 2019 Wyoming Coaches Foundation All-Star Weekend. If you're like me, you too were not ready for the 2018-19 seasons to be over. Well, for one more day, it does not have to be that way. One more time, the best of Wyoming are all here for a full day of all-star action. In 1 hour from now, we will kick off this volleyball match to start things up, followed by the girls' basketball showcase at 3 p.m. The boys cap it all off at 5 with the basketball game and ending this Wyoming Coaches Foundation All-Star Weekend. Jake Hibbert here, taking you through this extended pregame coverage when we return on the only place to catch the 2019 WCF All-Stars, mylocalradio.com.
At beautiful Bear Lake, skiing, snowmobiling, sailing, and swimming are just some of the fun activities offered to recreationists. The Greater Bear Lake Valley offers prime hunting and fishing areas, whether it's trout fishing in the streams or ice fishing for Cisco on the lake, hunting deer or seeking elk along the high mountain ridges. The scenic corner of Utah and Idaho offers outdoor recreation and historical interests away from crowds and high prices. Visit bearlake.org for more information.
Welcome back to the Wyoming Coaches Foundation and My Local Radio's coverage of the 2019 WCF All-Star Weekend, and welcome into the Bear Lake Convention and Visitor Center pregame show. Today we will see some of the best departing senior athletes from the state of Wyoming. Every year, the Wyoming Coaches Association extends invitations to 64 young men and women to come and compete in these three contests. They range from all classifications, 1A up to 4A. And they've all traveled up to Casper to meet Wednesday morning and begin preparing to come together to form a team. We will run you through these teams again when we get closer to each action. We'll go through the girls' basketball teams a little bit later as the boys again. But as we start off this pregame coverage, how about we let you know about all 64 of these athletes and take a look through these video game rosters as these All-Stars come together. Brought to you by Jeff Piper at Farmers Insurance in Evanston, Wyoming. Whether it's home, life, auto, or business, give Jeff Piper in Evanston a call at 307-789-5489. That's 307-789-5489 and Jeff Piper in Evanston to discuss how you can improve your insurance experience. Let's start with the last game happening today in boys basketball. That's the final contest of the night, scheduled to begin at 5 p.m. And let's first take a look at the North roster for that side. The North All-Stars are led numerically, of course, with Ethan Price out of Rocky Mountain, followed by Aaron Teal of Buffalo. Tristan Bauer is out of Sheridan, and Cade Ostison is from Newcastle. Again, we're going numerically in the roster order if you're watching online. Davion McAdam out of Kelly Walsh was a state champion at the 4A level, and he is highlighting this starting lineup for today's game as well. Trayton Paxton out of Riverton, and Tice Dahlberg is from Buffalo. Cody Thompson comes from Wright, and Hunter Rouse is from KC. And finally, the 10th and final member of this North All-Star team for the boys basketball program out of Lander, Wyoming, Antonio Quando. For the South rosters, we start off with Andrew Fornstrom out of Pine Bluffs. He'll be wearing number 10, so again, going numerically. Danny Gosar is from Pinedale, and Chase Stoger is from Green River. A couple of Green River men in this game today. Lane Mitchelson is from Farson Eden. Chase Stoger and Lane Mitchelson will be future teammates at Western Wyoming Community College. Eric Oliver is from Cheyenne East, as is Tanner Muchmore. Jordan Malm out of Torrington, and Tucker Norman is also from Pine Bluffs. Braxton Yeager, that other Green River member mentioned on this South All-Star team, and Derek Lionberger rounds out the roster, coming from Rock Springs. Now let's head on to the girls basketball rosters, which is scheduled to tip off at about 3 p.m., again, this time beginning with the North rosters. Kendall Wright is from Grable, followed by Sydney Schmidt out of Bighorn. Abby Gear is from Thunder Basin and a state champion, and that school's just second year in its history. Kaylin O'Neill is from Du Bois. Allison Hutton from Bighorn, and Lexus Volker is from Newcastle. Maddie Miller also from Thunder Basin and also a 4A state champion. Kendall Siemens is from Wright. Kinley Erickson is from 1A 10 Sleep. And Carly Erickson, a future soccer player for Central Wyoming College, is from Riverton. And those are your North versus South video game rosters for the basketball programs. Let's close it out now by taking a look at the rosters of the players playing in this most recent to come game, the volleyball match, coming your way in about 55 minutes from now. First, and again, as always, with the North roster. These are listed by position of what they played during the regular season, not what they will play today, because it is outside hitter heavy. Let's start with the setters. Grace Trandle is from Wright for the North All-Stars, and Taylor Lee is from Sheridan. Going on to the outside hitters, and there's a whole gaggle of them. Aubrey Stenerson is from Powell. Grace Dubé is from Natrona County. Ellie Olson from Buffalo. Hartley Thorrington from Powell as well. And Paige Powell from Cody, formerly of Encampment. Right side hitters, and again, this is what they played during the regular season. The right side hitters out of Warland is Alexa Caballero, and Ashley Steffen is from Shoshone. There was one middle blocker during the regular season who is on this North All-Star team, and it's Lauren Steveson. And Lauren Steveson is, again, the only little middle blocker coming in out of Newcastle. Liberos, Micah Rogers of Hewlett and Kristen Clausen of Arvada Clearmont. Finally, with the South All-Stars, middle blocker will start with Katie Banks out of Green River, and Katie Banks is that video game, I guess you call that emoji or avatar at the middle of our rosters. Another gaggle of outside hitters. Hayden Rhodes is from Douglas. She will move on to be a libero at the college level. Janae Tykert is from Cokeville. Olivia Muir from Star Valley. Evanston has Ajahana Archuleta at the outside hitter position, and Haley Anderson is from Southeast. Cassidy Nelson rounds out the list of outsides, she is from Lyman. Right side hitters, Ashlyn Tittenzer of Laramie, and Leona Tykert out of the 1A state champion Cokeville Panthers program. Setters, there are two for the South All-Stars, Olivia Pacheco out of Rollins, and Kaylee Critchfield out of Evanston. And one libero from the Bridger Valley, Mountain View, Wyoming, Allie Bugas. That rounds out the North vs. South video game rosters, brought to you by Jeff Piper and Farmers Insurance in Evanston, Wyoming. And when we return, we will begin to prepare for this afternoon's volleyball contest by first hearing from the North head coach, Stephanie Birch. She's from she's normally heads up the Cody Phillies volleyball program, and we'll ask her what it's like to be in charge of a group like this when we return on this exclusive all-star coverage on MyLocalRadio.com.
Does your time at the dental office feel like this? Or like this? At Bear River Dental, we do everything we can to help your time at the dental office feel more like this. Call Bear River Dental today at 307-789-5608 to have a dental experience like this. That's Bear River Dental at 307-789-5608. We'll treat you well.
If you're a person who enjoys comfort, affordability, and history, make sure you stay at the Best Western Dunmar Inn the next time you're in Evanston, Wyoming. In 1957, retired FBI agent Jack Dub Mills purchased the 17-unit motel referred to as the Oasis of the West that was frequented by stars like Dolly Parton and Tanya Tucker. Today, when you stay at the Best Western Dunmar Inn, you'll enjoy the history while you relax in one of the 165 ground-level rooms on 10 beautiful acres. Best Western Dunmar Inn. Reserve your rooms today, 307-789-3770.
Jake Hibbard joining you back at the Casper College Event Center here at the All-Star Saturday in the Bear Lake Convention and Visitors Center pregame show. Raspberry Days Festival in Garden City, Utah is August 1st, 2nd, and 3rd and celebrates the harvest of the world-famous Bear Lake raspberries. That's again the pregame show brought to you by visitbearlake.com. Now let's hear from North Volleyball coach Stephanie Birch.
I've coached Stephanie Birch with me for the North Side. You're a coach at Cody High School, and this year it was quite a ride. I thought that, you get a new athlete in, you have to fit around all that. What are some challenges when you get someone who comes in that is going to play varsity, has to still fit in with a role with everyone who's been playing around so much?
Right. Well, with the character of a person that Paige is, it wasn't a problem at all. Everybody knew from the second she came in she was super talented and deserved to play every single second that she did, but chemistry-wise, she fit in right away because as talented as she is on the court, she's a better person off the court. So it wasn't a problem at all.
Add into that you made the jump from 3A to 4A. How did you handle that?
Thank heavens we had her. We were really nervous making that jump. I mean, we're one of the smaller 4A schools, and it's hard to compete with people like that have so many kids to draw from. But we have core principles that we work on all the time. Our character, grit, showing up every single day, working hard, giving it your very best. So regardless what classification we are going to bring those same things to the table. And we're able to have a lot of success this year.
When did you find out that you'd been asked to be the coach for this North All-Star team in volleyball?
Shortly after the season, a couple weeks, I think in November, probably.
And how did you react to that?
I was excited. I came here a few years ago as an assistant coach. To be nominated as the head coach by your peers is a big deal. It's a great honor.
In your experience in the last couple of years, how does this all work out from a coaching standpoint? Because we know there's not too much time. So what do you try to do to get this team together?
I have thought about that and thought about that and thought about that for weeks now, and I have decided to plan practice how I do with my Cody girls. We work on the fundamentals, and then we work on the game, and we're not going to change anything than what we always do. We're just going to do the same type of stuff with these girls. The way we do practice, they get a ton of reps and a ton of playing, so we're just going to play them back into it.
Are you going to have to feel out who's going to play where? Because as I was looking at the roster as it was listed, we have a whole lot of girls who are used to playing the same positions.
Oh, absolutely. I have like one middle and 100 outsides. So for sure we've designed some drills that we're going to do that are going to get girls in different positions than they're used to and just see who can adapt the best. And they're all all-stars. They're all seniors. They should be able to figure it out and play different positions than they're used to.
Were you able to take anything away a couple of years ago being here that then you incorporated into your everyday practicing once you get back to Cody in the fall?
Absolutely. We did a lot of, because you have to get to know each other on a short basis. So team bonding, team get to know you, that kind of stuff that we have incorporated into our team in Cody. Every week we do a team bonding activity, that kind of stuff.
And this year, do you feel as though, even though you're coming in as a head coach, having been here before, you feel a little more comfortable jumping into this situation?
Oh, absolutely. If this was my first year ever, looking at the schedule and you're asking me to what? All this stuff, it would have been very overwhelming. But since I've been here and I know, the design and different expectations, it's a lot easier.
We know these games are all about fun, and it's going to be 5 sets, and it's going to be exciting. So, Coach Stephanie Birch for the North All-Stars, thank you very much, and good luck.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Players are starting to file into the gym and begin warm-ups momentarily. And when we come back, we will hear from a trio of girls who experienced something so rare in the sport of volleyball at any level: perfection. McKinley Bradshaw, Cassidy Nelson, and Olivia Smith were all key cogs in a Lyman Lady Eagles volleyball team that went 36-0 on the season on their way to a 3A state title. Bradshaw and Smith opted to play basketball in today's Festival of Talent, but Nelson will hit for the South volleyball team. We will hear from the teammates when we return with pregame coverage live from from the Sweet Erickson Center here in Casper, Wyoming on mylocalradio.com.
Early Oregon-bound immigrants traveled through the Bear Lake Valley. U.S. Highway 30 basically follows the Oregon Trail. Many wagon trains stopped at Thomas L. Pegleg Smith Trading Post, located near Dingle, Idaho, for supplies. One traveler wrote of camping along Cotton Line Bear River, watching grass as tall as a man wave in the wind. Today, you don't have to ride in a wagon to visit Bear Lake Valley, but the rich history is still here to enjoy. Visit bearlake.org for more information.
Welcome back to My Local Radio's coverage of the WCF All-Star Weekend. As we move through the Bear Lake Convention and Visitors Center's pregame show, now let's hear from McKinley Bradshaw, Cassidy Nelson, and Olivia Smith, all of Lyman. I have 3 Lyman Eagles with me: Olivia Smith, McKinley Bradshaw, and Cassidy Nelson. Olivia and McKinley playing basketball, Cassidy playing volleyball in this WCA All-Star competitions. Starting off with all 3 of you, and in whatever order you pick has to go first, I want to know, as members of that volleyball team, at the end of the day, what did it mean to be perfect at the end of the year, even more than just state champions? Whoever wants to take that one first. McKinley, you've been voted in.
For me, it reminded me of the movie Remember the Titans and how all their struggles that they went through and they still came out perfect. I mean, during the season, we still had our struggles. I mean, I remember practices where we literally hated each other when we were put across the net. But then when we played a game together, it was I don't know, it was fun and exciting and the greatest thing I've been a part of.
All right, on to you, Cassidy. You're playing volleyball, so now what for you on that season?
It was pretty cool to see our dreams kind of come true. Our dream from the beginning was to win the state championship, but we achieved more than that, and it was really cool to see all of our hard work come together in the end.
Olivia?
Yeah, I just kind of agree with Cassidy, just to see everything that we've been working for the whole season to just come together and be more than we even wanted it to be.
So then you end up at the championship match, a place where you probably expected and hoped to be at. Probably didn't expect or hope to be down 2-0, though. Did anyone give up by a show of hands at that in their mind, thinking oh no, we came this far, we're not going to do it? Maybe just a little bit. But more importantly, how did you and how were you able to overcome that 2-0 deficit? Again, whoever's up. Olivia, you're
okay.
Up this time.
I just remember after the second set, one of our teammates just yelling at us, being like, hey, we came this far, what are we doing? We know what we should do. And even our coach just being like, hey, we've been put in pressure situations before, so let's just get ourselves out of it. And then we did, so.
Well, it was certainly a flip of fortunes of that. Rollins had everything working and then just slowly and methodically, although even that being said, coming down to the 5th set, it was a very tight one. Had you ever been in a competition that was comparable to that state championship prior? McKinley?
All I can relate to is our sophomore year in basketball, actually. We were playing for the Consolation Championship against Buffalo, and it came down to those last few seconds where we had to play defense and we had to score. But, it worked out for us, and it worked out for us again. But we all play basketball together, so I think it really helped us to kind of grow and be calm in that situation and know, that third set was ours, and we were going to get it.
Going to move on to where you guys are all headed next, right after this. McKinley, you're going to the University of Wyoming for basketball. Cassidy, you're playing volleyball. Is that at Sheridan College?
I'm actually going to Chadron State now.
Shadron State still for volleyball?
Yes.
All right, good to know. And Olivia, where are you headed?
I'm coming here to Casper.
And you're going to be going into?
Occupational therapy.
Okay. Where are you headed is brought to you by the Cache Valley Visitors Bureau. The Cache Valley boasts 4 golf courses, including the Logan River and Birch Creek golf courses, which are among the top courses in Utah and rated in the top 500 courses in the nation. McKinley, first with you. How did you come to your decision that Wyoming was where you wanted to be for basketball?
We went to a basketball game kind of on an unofficial visit, and it was just to kind of see how they played and how the team actually worked together, and it was my style right off the bat. I could just tell that what they were doing is what I personally enjoy doing and what I think I'm good at. And then just having the coaches there and the excitement that they brought, I was excited. I was ready to play as a junior, and I still had a year of high school left. Like that feeling, and then I just never got that feeling thinking about other schools or talking to other coaches. So.
What about you, Olivia? What stuck out and made Casper College the choice?
Just really that it was like the only school that had occupational therapy, really.
You didn't want to go out of Wyoming?
Yeah, no.
Okay, good to know. Casty, now at Chadron State, getting ready for a volleyball season. What stuck out about that program for you?
The coach was a big factor. Like, she was the one that recruited me to go to Sheridan, but then she went to Chadron, and I really liked her, and I wanted to play for her. So.
Well, finally, what's it mean for all three of you to be here together for one more weekend of competition? Take it away, Casty.
It's pretty exciting to come together again. I mean, we don't get to play together, at least I don't, but it's still fun to be here with them again one last time.
McKinley?
It is exciting. I mean, we rode all together, and it was like not like we were riding a bus, but we were all together just laughing, talking, sleeping, just like we did on all of our road trips together throughout the 4 years that we had. And it's fun. It's exciting.
Olivia?
I just think it's cool, like, to be playing with McKinley one last time before she moves on to bigger things. And yeah, just like what she said, like in the car, just riding together, and even to ride with our coach again, just one last time.
But at the 10 years down the road, you're going to be saying you were the one who made McKinley look good, right?
Yeah, probably.
And of course, we all know that there should be 4 Lyman Eagles here. McKaylee Bradshaw, she would have been here too, and she would have been playing great as well. And all you guys, it's been fun watching you grow up throughout this program and all the success you've had, and excited to see one more week with you. Olivia Smith, McKinley Bradshaw, and Cassidy Nelson, thanks so much for joining me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And with those girls all moving on to new challenges, let's take a look at where some of these athletes will be continuing their careers at the next level. This is brought to you by Cache Valley Visitors. And with an average snowfall of more than 400 inches, northern Utah is a playground for snowmobilers. Experience more than 300 miles of groomed trails throughout spectacular scenery and terrain that is as challenging or as easy as you want it to be. Find out more at explorelogan.com. That again brought to you by the Cache Valley Visitors Bureau. Where are you headed? Let's take a look at the map of where some of these volleyball girls are moving on. First, we look to Kaylee Critchfield and Aubrey Stenerson playing for opposite sides. Kaylee Critchfield of Evanston for the South team and Aubrey Stenerson for the North out of Powell. They'll both be in Powell starting in the fall, playing volleyball for Northwest College, the Pioneers. Ashley Steffen of Shoshone, she's moving to Central Wyoming College, just a little bit south of where she went to high school, to go play volleyball. We have a barbershop quartet of girls in this first game headed to Casper College and all for volleyball. Olivia Muir out of Star Valley, Haley Anderson from Southeast, Allie Bugus out of Mountain View, and Ashlyn Tittenser from Laramie. Again, all going to Casper College for volleyball. Hayden Rhodes of Douglas, she was a 5'2" outside hitter and a pretty good one at the 3A level for her years at Douglas. She moves to Black Hills State for volleyball, but she will move to the back line and put on the different jersey as a libero. Cassidy Nelson, as we heard, she was going to go to Sheridan College, but when the coach went from Sheridan to Chadron, she jumped over as well. So instead of going to Sheridan in northern Wyoming, she's headed off to Chadron State in western Nebraska. And again, for volleyball, Olivia Pacheco is moving to Miles Community College to go play basketball. That's in Miles City, Montana, and they're also the Pioneers. Paige Powell from Cody, she'll join McKinley Bradshaw and new head coach for the girls program, Gerald Mattinson, at the University of Wyoming for basketball. And finally, Grace Dubé out of Natrona County playing for the North team today. She'll switch as well, much like we have Hayden Rhodes switching from outside to libero. Grace Dubé will do the same thing and become a libero for the Utah State Aggies volleyball program in the fall. She's headed up next week to Logan, Utah. And again, that is brought to you by the Cache Valley Visitors Bureau out of Logan and the surrounding areas. When we return on the Bear Lake Convention and Visitors Center pregame show, we will talk with future Aggie Grace Dubé about her journey from an undersized power-hitting jackrabbit attacker for Natrona County to a future Division I defensive specialist. This exclusive coverage on MyLocalRadio.com of the WCA All-Star Game will continue next.
Where They're Headed is brought to you by the Cache Valley Visitors Bureau in beautiful Logan, Cache Valley, Utah. No matter what season you visit Cache Valley, Utah, you'll always find fun things to do. Entertainment includes Broadway theater productions and concerts, amazing restaurants, outdoor living history with pioneers and mountain men, shopping, year-round family entertainment, hikes and fishing, pristine golf courses, and more. Bring your cooler for 17 stops on the foodie trek. So whenever you're ready to head somewhere just for a getaway, explore Logan, Cache Valley, Utah. We've got it all, and you can learn more at explorelogan.com. That's explorelogan.com.
The best place to stay when you're in Casper, Wyoming is the Come On In Hotel and Suites. This beautiful log hotel offers 5 hot tubs, 1 pool, a fitness center, and fabulous indoor atrium. Offering jacuzzi and fireplace suites, the guest rooms are comfortable and relaxing. Plus, every stay includes a delicious extended continental breakfast. Whenever you're in Casper, stay at the best place. Come On In Hotel and Suites. Come on in today. Come On In Hotel and Suites, Casper.
Welcome back to the Bear Lake Convention and Visitors Center pregame show. Visit bearlake.org for more information about Raspberry Days on August 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, and all the summer fun available at Bear Lake in Utah and Idaho. Grace DeBay burst onto the Wyoming sports scene in the fall of 2016 as a sophomore outside hitter for Natrona County. Despite being smaller than most 4A outsides, DeBay's vertical leap and heavy arm was undeniable, and her game as a backline defender did not go unnoticed either. She also proved to be a pesky defender on the basketball court that season, but suffered a torn ACL late in the conference year, and that injury ended her basketball career and kept her out of the entire regular season of her junior volleyball campaign. I was able to catch up with DeBay this week to talk about her journey back and what's next as she looks forward to her years in Logan, Utah. I'm with Grace DeBay, now a signee for the Utah State Aggies, and the last time we talked back in November was state tournament time. And what's been going on athletically or otherwise for you since then?
Yeah, we went to state, had a little bit of a rough state tournament, but it was still a good experience. And then after that, it's just been college volleyball workouts and getting in the gym whenever I can.
You didn't play basketball, you didn't run track. I know you could have done both of those,
Yes.
but you've been preparing for volleyball. What does college volleyball prep look like?
So we do a Monday, Wednesday, Friday workout, and then just like on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I kind of do my own thing. But it's just getting used to like their lifting programs and the schedule and stuff like that. But the lifting coach has been super awesome and really helpful with all of the lifts and everything. And then just getting into the gym as much as possible to play some volleyball and get some touches.
When you talk about the lifting coach, you mean the Utah State?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Have you been on campus?
I will go on campus next week for their skills camp, so that'll be fun. But we just have like an email thread kind of deal with all the girls, and he just gives us our new workout. We have like different phases, 4-week phases.
You were an outside hitter for Natrona County 3 years.
Yeah.
That one in the middle was
yes, with the knee.
Of course, the knee thing. But now you're going to defense. You know, you always played all the way around, so defense is nothing new. But are you ready to be a back row only player? How are you going to handle that?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to miss hitting just because it's a lot of fun and it's a super dynamic position. But I am actually so excited for to be libero and just to be a defensive player. I think it's just defense is so much fun and it requires like a lot of heart and grit, and I just love like digging up that crazy kill from the player. And you know you need a great pass and a great dig to start the rest of your game. So I'm excited, actually.
Where Are They Headed is brought to you by the Cache Valley Visitors Bureau. Discover a century of the past at the 160-acre American West Heritage Center. Come discover the history of the Old West from 1820 to 1920, located just minutes south of Logan. I've been out to the Utah campus a little bit. I've been out to their gymnasium.
Yes.
Is the main gym, is that where the volleyball games are played, or are they played at the Estes Center?
They're played at the Estes Center. So volleyball is the only team that gets to use the Wayne Estes Center. It's just our facility. Occasionally, sometimes the women's basketball team has to play in there, but that's for the most part all of us. We have a small like weightlifting room in the back. But yeah, so it's really nice.
What do you like about the Wayne Estes Center? What's good about it?
So when they were building the Wayne Estes Center, the head coach Grayson had like light specialists brought in, and they did like all of this engineering on which positioning of the lights would be best so it's a well-lit gym, but also like not in the players' eyes when they're playing. So the lighting is really nice, which is kind of an interesting thing to like about it, but it's really easy because they're kind of off the sides of the court, so it's not directly on you. So I really like that. The locker room is super nice, which is super cool. Yeah, and the court is just really pretty.
It doesn't surprise me that you would point out those things because you're kind of a volleyball player that picks up on the particulars. You like lighting, you like the way the roof looks. Like,
yeah.
Throughout high school, you had certain gyms that you liked, you didn't like. Go into that a little bit.
Yeah, so I don't know what it is, but the gym kind of, it doesn't have an impact on your game, but it is something that you like notice when you first walk in. Like Evanston's gym is just beautiful. I love how the seats are and how they like point down towards the gym, and it's just super open and very bright. I really like that. And then I love NC's new gym with all the natural lighting. It sometimes gets a little hot, but it's really nice. So yeah, I just think that all adds to the experience.
I've never had any sort of surgery. Back in the day, and this is not going that long ago, ACL meant you were done for life as far as sports go. Yeah. Having never rehabbed myself, what is a rehab for a knee injury like that like? What's the intensity? Where are the downs? Where are the ups? What's it all like?
Yeah, so definitely I think it's a personal decision on how serious you take therapy. It is what you make of it. So I went to physical therapy every single day after school. And then this is funny because after I had my surgery, I was still in school. I was a sophomore and just had a couple months left of school. And so at lunchtime, my mom would come pick me up, and she has this plug-in in her Suburban, and I would ice my knee during lunch just to keep the swelling out, just really wanted to stay on top of all of that. So yeah, I had physical therapy every single day after school. Nancy Robertson was amazing and a huge help. Definitely owe all the success to her for just trying new things and really letting me get after it. And then the downs of the rehab is definitely like you just want to do more and you want to do more and you want to keep pushing it. And sometimes you just have to be like, you have to be easy on yourself and understand like you just had a major surgery and you need to do what's best for your body. But the ups are definitely, the first time I got to do a box jump was awesome. Like it was great. Immediate smile on my face. And you it's cool because you get to really focus on your leg and like rebuilding it. And I didn't do that before. So it was cool to like completely like restructure my leg how I wanted it to be.
What's it mean to be playing in this All-Star game for you?
It means a ton. To definitely like represent Wyoming one last time before I have Utah on my jersey is incredible. And my team, all the girls are super sweet, and it's been a lot of fun, even just with our one practice. So it means a lot, and all these athletes are really great.
Grace Dubé from Natrona County heading on west to Utah State to be a libero for the Aggies. Thanks so much. Good luck in these games. And before you go, I got to ask, outside hitter or libero in this contest? Do you know yet?
So at first practice, I was outside, so we'll see.
We'll see.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Back here on the Bear Lake Convention and Visitors Center pregame show. When we come back, we'll be joined by Grant Paddock of the Wyoming Coaches Association Board of Directors, and he'll tell us a little bit more about how these athletes are chosen and how they help give back to the community over this week. I'm Jake Hibbert, joining you live from Casper College for the 2019 WCF All-Star Games, only on mylocalradio.com.
When you run a farm or ranch, you understand how important water is when it comes to your animals. Not only does it matter for the overall health of your animals, but it directly ties to your bottom line. Ellingford Brothers sells cement water troughs and custom-built critter ladders, culverts, head gates, and septic tanks. See how Ellingford Brothers can help you with water options for your farm or ranch. Call today, 307-789-1515. That's 789-1515.
Here on the Bear Lake Convention and Visitors Center pregame show, let's hear from WCA All-Star Director Grant Paddock. Got Grant Paddock with me. He is the All-Star Director with the Wyoming Coaches Association, putting on these Wyoming Coaches Foundation All-Star Games this weekend, volleyball, girls and boys basketball. This is our 4th year with My Local Radio doing these games. We love the product you put out every single season. And let's start off with you, Grant, telling us a little bit about what goes into the selection process of these athletes. They're obviously some of the best around the state, but that includes in and out of the classroom and also on the court.
Yeah, we do. When I first started this, which was as a boys basketball rep prior to this, and did a lot of the selection stuff. Then took over the All-Star directorship about 18 years ago. And when we first started, we had a lot of kids just, we were just kind of picking them, and it was kind of the good old boy kind of deal. And so if you knew somebody, you could get a kid on. Well, we changed the whole process to we want to have the best athletes we can get here, but at the same time, we want to have the highest quality athletes that we can get as well. And so the whole process is that if a kid in his senior year has any kind of violation of alcohol, drugs, anything like that, then they're not eligible to be in the All-Star game. So we monitor them, and it's not just through their season. It's from the beginning of the fall sports season through the All-Star game. So if a kid has an MIP during football and he's a basketball player, he can't play basketball at the All-Star game. If they've been selected and all of a sudden in the summer they get an MIP, then we remove them from the team. So the reason we did a lot of that is, like I say, we wanted to have the highest quality kids, but it was real disappointing to me when I first started. Some of the kids would come down here and they'd be doing inappropriate things, so I'd have to send them home. And our policy there is if they violate our code of conduct while they're here, then I call their parents and say they're on their road home and they don't get to play.
But it's been great because you sent me the rosters that were unofficial months ago, and there's been basically no changes at all. I was just expecting there's going to be one kid or here, and not talking about they're getting in trouble. Someone has a club tournament that they have to go to. No, every single person that you guys selected ended up being able to make it. This is great. We got 20 for the girls, 20 for the boys basketball, and then 24 for volleyball. So altogether, we got, 64 athletes here, and every single one of them was able to make it here. That's great.
Yeah. This has been an exceptional year. Like I say, there's athletes, other things come up. We did have some early after with the selection that one of them had to go on an overseas foreign exchange thing, which, I understand. That's, life goes on, that happens. But this year, I've only had a few of those types of things drop out, but they dropped out early. In the last month or so, we haven't had any. That's very unusual. There's times that Sunday night before this week, I get calls and kids say they can't come for whatever reason. So then we're scrambling to find an alternate to come in and play for them. Other years we've come down here and somebody just doesn't show up, and that's a real concern of mine, because if they don't call me and tell me they're not coming, I assume they're on their way down here, and if they don't show up, then I've got to assume that something happened between home and here, and so we have to do some, hard searching to find them. But and then try and replace them is even harder. So this has been an exceptional year, and that just means our selection process, I think, is getting better, that we don't have to chase kids down like we used to. And again, it's all about being quality kids and making a commitment that to us. And I think also the level of the honor that they're receiving down here has gone up in amount quite a bit since it started. So now kids don't want to miss this, and it's one of those things where if a kid plays 4 years ago and comes back and talks to players that are in a school that he played for and tells them what a great experience it was, they don't want to miss. So that's really helped us out.
It's been great games, and I'm catching you on the day where the players from all teams go out and help give back to the community with the Boys and Girls Club. Tell me what the plans are for today.
Okay. We have Union Wireless came in, and they give us a good amount of financial support for this. The All-Star Games cost over $20,000 this week to bring the athletes in and do all of this. And most of that's covered by corporate sponsorships. And so Union Wireless, they came in and wanted to be a part of it, but they also wanted to hold the kids responsible for something, and they wanted to have some kind of community service given back. So we have what we call the Give Back Night, and Union Wireless buys pizza for dinner for the athletes, and then we go out to all the Boys and Girls Club, Special Olympics, and Make-A-Wish Foundation, and the kids interact with our players, and then we share pizza with them and just have a good time with that. But it gives kids that haven't had a lot of success in their life they get to rub elbows with all-stars, and that's pretty special. But I found that it's probably more rewarding to our athletes because they go out with the Special Olympians. I always go with them, and they play kickball, and those Special Olympians are very, very competitive, and it's just a lot of fun to be out there and compete with them. But it makes the All-Star games mean something more than just a game.
Got Grant Paddock, All-Star Director for the Wyoming Coaches Association here at Casper College. And again, that day we're just talking about, we're on tape delay, so that happens Thursday night leading up to the Saturday All-Star games. Grant, before I let you go, anything else you want to say?
Well, I just, I appreciate all the sponsors. Like I say, it's about $20,000 or over to put this on. But, all the cloth stuff that we buy, Casper Orthopedics pays for those. Bush Wells buys the uniforms for the volleyball. Universal Athletics has the basketball uniforms. They bought those. So I could go on, and I don't have the whole list of sponsors, but even Casper College, they donate the facilities to us. So that allow at least the practice facilities and the game facilities. And it's nice to be on Casper campus because everything's contained. We room the kids at the dormitory here, and then we also eat at the cafeteria and then be able to play at 2 different gyms here at Casper College. So they're a big sponsor of what we do, and the whole community of Casper. So I'd really like people to come out and see the game. If you can't, watch it online, and it's usually very competitive games. This year I kind of watched the teams practice, and I think it's going to be close all the way around. I don't see any blowouts coming. Sometimes that happens, but right now I couldn't make a call on who's going to win these games.
I'm right with you. I think that each side has a little bit different dynamic, but they all complement each other well, and we should be in for 3 great games: volleyball, followed by girls basketball and boys basketball, capping it all off at 5 p.m. Grant Paddock, longtime Wyoming Coaches Association All-Star Director, thank you so much, and we'll be seeing you.
Okay. Thank you for all you do for us.
We are closing in on the start of this volleyball contest, but when we come back, we'll focus briefly on the thoughts on tonight's boys All-Star game as we sit down with Chase Stoger, Braxton Yeager, and Lori Ivy, all of the Green River Wolves. This is My Local Radio's exclusive coverage of the WCF All-Stars.
At beautiful Bear Lake, skiing, snowmobiling, sailing, and swimming are just some of the fun activities offered to recreationists. The Greater Bear Lake Valley offers prime hunting and fishing areas, whether it's trout fishing in the streams or ice fishing for Cisco on the lake, hunting deer or seeking elk along the high mountain ridges. The scenic corner of Utah and Idaho offers outdoor recreation and historical interests away from crowds and high prices. Visit bearlake.org for more information.
My name is Dr. Micah Pullins. I'm an orthopedic surgeon at Evanston Regional Hospital. I perform total hip, total knee, and total shoulder replacement. The huge majority of patients of mine that have undergone total joint replacement have been dealing with pain and disability for many years. After joint replacement and recovery, patients are back to doing the activities that they want to do.
Jake Hibbert here, taking you through the Bear Lake Convention and Visitors Center pregame show. Raspberry Days Festival is on August 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, and will feature Little Miss Berry Pageant, a craft fair, continuous entertainment, parade on the Boulevard, a rodeo, a 5K run in Lake Town, Utah, a pancake breakfast, and of course, fireworks on the beach. Taking the reins of a Green River basketball program barren of any recent success, Lori Ivy faced quite a task 4 years ago. She was joined by a group of young kids who were determined to carve out their own legacy, 2 of them in Chase Stoger and Braxton Yeager, who are playing in tonight's game. I was able to talk to this trio, who helped lead Green River to a 4A West regional runner-up spot and earns the school's first state tournament bid since 2009. I have Chase Stoger, Braxton Yeager, and Lori Ivy with me, all of the Green River basketball program. Starting with the head coach, Lori Ivy. Was this your 4th season with the program?
Yes, it was my 4th season, entering the 5th.
So you got both of these guys as freshmen.
That is correct.
What were they like as freshmen compared to seniors?
They were great athletes. Chase started varsity for us his freshman year, and just that entire freshman group, Braxton included, coming in was extremely talented.
Braxton, over to you. I was at the game where you separated your shoulder. Is that what it was? Was the separated shoulder?
Yeah, dislocation.
Yeah, dislocation. So I was at that game at halftime. You got hit up in the air. Did you know right away that there was an injury?
Yeah. First of all, by the feel, just the way it fell, I could tell for sure. And then I looked down at it, and you could see it kind of hanging down a little bit, and you could tell for sure there was an injury there.
When that happened, this is in the middle of a season where you guys are looking pretty good, but still with you, Braxton. I think this was about maybe almost the midway point of the season.
Yeah, about halfway.
With Rock Springs, and that's your rivalry game. Chase, and then on to you. What changed for your game when Braxton goes down?
So when Braxton went down, I just felt like I had to be more of a scorer on the team because he provided a lot of points and a lot of offense for our team. And so when he went down, I just felt like I had to kind of step up a little bit and score the ball a little bit more to help our team win games.
Coach, how did that change the dynamic of your team with one of your players and your post player going down in the middle of the campaign?
Yeah, definitely. So 2 things. I just want to piggyback off of what Chase said about having to step up offensively. The very next game we played Kelly Walsh at home, and he ended up scoring 32 points that game. And, we came darn close to beating him. So what he said is exactly what, the role he played from that point. Well, always, but definitely stepped it up. But with Braxton having our post go down, it changed a lot of things because Braxton could score on anybody we played. And so he drew a lot of attention, which then opened up things on the outside for our perimeter players. And so, we went from running the offense we run to running a 5-out, so it changed the things that we did significantly.
When you were able to come back, Braxton, I think that was your first game back against Rock Springs again the next time?
Yeah.
How did that affect your game? Because I understand you weren't completely healthy, but you were definitely going to be out there playing. How did you have to change your game up?
Yeah, I was supposed to be out for 6 weeks, and I think I came back in 3, so it was definitely not fully healthy. And the first few games affected it a lot. My shot was it was pretty off the first few games, and in practice I noticed my shooting was off, but it affected my physicality for sure too, the first few games. And then once I got used to it and used to the brace being on and my shoulder, it came back to normal pretty quick for me.
This all leads up to, a couple weeks down the road. I'm trying to think what's the month. Last week of February, first week of March at a regional tournament where for all 3 of you, you have a semifinal game against Evanston. You come away victorious, and that means that you have qualified for the state tournament for the first time, obviously, in all 3 of your guys' career in Green River, but more importantly for the town, first time in 10 years. Collectively, what was the emotion going on when that finally was realized? Whoever wants to start, Chase, it looks like they're pointing to you.
Well, it was just a good feeling because it just felt like people from Green River were used to the team not making it to the state tournament, and it felt good to just kind of change that. With our senior class, we just kind of turned things around a little bit and get our team through to that state tournament. And, it was just a really good feeling overall.
What about with you, Braxton, having to fight your way back to be able to be a part of that?
It was amazing, I think. It was awesome, especially against Evanston too, because we hadn't beat Evanston in over 24 games or something like that. So beating Evanston and making it to the state tournament at the same time was just an awesome feeling.
Lori?
Yeah, I agree with what both of the boys said. It's a big deal. It was a big deal to us. It was a big deal to our community, and it was awesome.
Jumping ahead to where you guys are going next, you're both moving on to Western Wyoming Community College, so just a few miles down the road. Chase, for basketball, Braxton, you're going to be a business management major for, from what I understand, just a year because you're already pretty far along in your schooling.
Yeah, I might. If I take it slow, I go for 2 years, but I'm pretty far along in my college classes, so I could probably finish it in a year if I go pretty hard.
And Chase, I understand that you were actually kind of found as a result of Braxton's injury that got you kind of a spot on that basketball team at Western.
Yeah. I talked to their coach a little bit earlier in the season, and I talked to him a little bit, so I was in communication with him before that.
But when he goes down, you change positions. It seems like he was impressed, and that kind of led to him being more aggressive in recruiting you.
Yeah, it probably did help. I haven't honestly talked to him about that specific thing. But.
I can answer that a little bit.
Yeah.
Starting clear back from the Flaming Gorge Classic, They had taken an interest in Chase at Western. And so I think, I had a couple of conversations with the coach, and so he knew our schedule and tried to make special times where he could go watch us play, especially when we were at home. So I definitely think, everything he did on the court helped him, but I think it started earlier than just that.
Where Are You Headed is brought to you by the Cache Valley Visitors Bureau. Book your Cache Valley getaway package today. Enjoy a beautiful room, dinner, and breakfast. Visit getawaypackage.com for more information. Moving on, looking ahead to Western Wyoming Community College for basketball. Chase, what are you excited about? And also, what was the decision process like? Was it always definitely basketball, or were there other sports ever involved?
It was always basketball for me. It's been my favorite sport since I started playing it, and I'm just really excited for the challenge, to step up to that next level and see if I can compete and pretty much just improve my game, as the season goes on, get in the college program and get just bigger, stronger, faster, and just better all around at basketball.
And Braxton, I've already seen what you can do kind of already at the next level out on the racetracks. I've been out and seen you a couple times this year. You're pretty good on a stock car. I would imagine you're going to continue doing that. And I also understand that you just went out and got a new vehicle as well. What happened to your old one? How do you like the new one?
Well, I haven't drove the new one yet, but it's definitely nice, and I'm going to continue racing for sure because my dad's done it and my whole family's pretty much done it for all their lives, and I love it too. It's nice since I can't really go and compete for basketball or another sport at the next level, I can still compete on the racetrack, so it's the same feeling and gives me the same feeling of competing. So I'm going to definitely do that for sure and move on with that.
That's got to be such an adrenaline rush, taking those corners, just being right on the edge of crashing and people right in front, right behind you.
Oh yeah, it's crazy for sure. It took me a while to get used to, but once you get good at it, it's so fun. There's nothing better.
I know you've been racing since you were 4 or 5 years old, but how long have you been racing at that level?
When I was 13 is when I got in a bigger stock car, so I moved up to the next level.
And Coach Ivy, you're not headed anywhere now, are you? I didn't ask you, but you're staying right where you are, aren't you?
Yeah, I just got my oldest off to college and getting ready to close out summer and head into the school year for fall and then continue with basketball.
What's next for Green River basketball?
We have a different group coming up, and so, we were just talking. We've got to make some changes, and we have to, do some things different to help, accentuate the strengths that they bring, and we're excited.
All right. South coach Lori Ivy and South competitors Chase Stoger and Braxton Yeager, all of Green River and part of that crew that broke the streak and got to the state tournament. Congratulations. I hope you have fun this weekend because that's what it's all about. Chase Stoger, Braxton Yeager, Lori Ivy, thank you.
Thank you so much.
When we return, we will hear from Angela Rhodes of Douglas, who gets the pleasure of coaching this South All-Star volleyball team. Don't go anywhere. We are just about to the opening serve on My Local Radio's coverage of the 2019 WCF All-Star Weekend.
If you've been thinking about working out but don't know where to start, or have been working out but not seeing the results you wanted, come into Flex Fitness and we will help you find the right program to achieve your fitness goal. A Flex Fitness membership includes a new member orientation that will help you discover your workout personality type so you can achieve your best results. When you know your workout personality type, you'll have quicker recovery times, less injuries, and really start to enjoy your workouts. Flex Fitness, 100 Yellow Creek Road, next to Smith's in Evanston.
The best live coverage of local sports, weather, local news, and radio classifieds, plus online streaming music, giveaways, and more. It's all on mylocalradio.com. Watch as your high school teams clash with their biggest rivals. Listen to the latest from your team's coaches. Catch up on local and regional news and stream your favorite music. Visit mylocalradio.com. Like us on Facebook and stream it all live.
We will now take a closing interview with our extended pregame coverage brought to you by the Bear Lake Convention and Visitors Bureau with South Volleyball head coach Angela Rhodes. I have Angela Rhodes with me, South Volleyball coach for these WCF All-Star Games. What's it like and what's it mean to you to be a head coach for this event?
Oh, it's always really special. But this year, I think, even more so, I know so many of these kids. Coached for a few years in Wyoming now, and you get to play all these teams. And I just got a really great group of girls. All of them are just great, nice kids. Not only are they awesome players, and it's fun to coach with and work with people that you've coached against, and so it's pretty special.
You're coaching with someone you coached against earlier in the season in Brescia Hansen, and you guys had about as competitive of 2 sets as we've ever seen in the state volleyball tournament. It was in the semifinal match, but it seemed like a championship game. Go back to your season as a whole, not so much about the end, but what it was like to be coaching this group of girls this year.
Right. With coaching against Brescia, she does such an outstanding job, and it seems like every year we see them. And we have these epic battles, and it doesn't matter who's ranked ahead of whom, or it's always going to be a battle. She's just such a really good coach, and she does a nice job adjusting during a game. And so it's really been fun to get to know her over the years. She's somebody that I really like as a colleague, I don't think of her as an opponent as much as a fellow coaching relationship that I have. So it's really fun to get to work with her. I've gotten to know also our other assistant coach, Roxanne Jolovich. They always come to our Douglas Invite every year. And she's had some great talented kids and does such a nice job with her program. So it's really fun to get to know all of those guys. As far as this past season, gosh, all of these kids from all of their teams had great seasons. I mean, they were just phenomenal. It was fun to watch Star Valley and Rollins and Douglas and Lyman, and all these teams were just top quality teams, and these are some of their best kids, so it's a really fun group to coach.
You go back to coaching Douglas in the fall, and that's not that long away, but you will not go back to coaching Hayden Rhodes, your daughter. This is your last chance with coaching with her.
I'll probably coach her forever in her life, I'm thinking, as her mom, but yeah, as far as volleyball goes, I gotta let her go, so it's kind of bittersweet with that, but it's good. You want them to go on and do things on their own and get other people to help them grow. So I'm really looking forward to her going on, and she's going to play at Black Hills State, so and play the position she's probably meant to play, which is libero. So it'll be pretty cool to go watch her do that.
I also talked to a girl on the other side of the roster, which is Grace DeBay, who's going on to play libero as well from an outside. Right. A couple of undersized Wyoming girls who could really jump playing liberos.
Played outside in high school and libero in college, yeah. And Hayden and Grace have played together since 6th grade on a club team. So we know Grace DeBay really well also. So what a great kid she is.
A similar sort of situation between both these athletes, though, because of their athleticism, they can overcome their height, but they have to move out of the front row and go to the back. Yeah. How do you think Hayden's ready for that, and how do you think she'll do in that position?
Oh, I think she was born to play that position, and she actually did play that position for her club team. She's really looking forward to it. I think it's what she's meant to do. So I've really had her out of position trying to hit at 5'2", and she did a great job for us. But she's really looking forward to it, I think. Same with Grace. She is so dynamic as a jumper, a little bit bigger than Hayden. I think she could actually push for an outside spot. She is so dynamic. But if she goes libero, she'll love that too, because she loves the floor, and she's a tough kid as well.
Douglas coach, and for this week, the South Volleyball for the WCF All-Stars, Angela Rhodes, thank you so much, and good luck. Have fun this week.
All right, thanks. It'll be a fun one.
We are hearing from the loudspeaker, the announcer right now, announcing the officials in this contest and some of the new WCA officials on the board of directors. The rosters will be up right after that, but let's jump into a little bonus coverage. We have Scott Schaefer, a newly inducted, as of yesterday, WCA Hall of Fame member out of Cody, Wyoming as a track coach. Let's hear from him now as we get a little bonus All-Star pregame coverage. Scott Schaefer with me out of Cody and in a new inductee to the WCA Hall of Fame. First of all, Coach, congratulations. What's it mean to be inducted into this club?
I'm deeply honored. I would have preferred, my brother got inducted last year. I would have preferred to get in before him, but it's a big affirmation for I think for Cody High School track and field in general, and what we've achieved. Myself and a bunch of really good guys and coaches, and athletes and parents, and just an overall perfect situation, perfect story.
Track is a sport that always happens at the end of the year, and sometimes those athletes kind of have one foot out the door, and you got to wrangle them back in. When you get those kids, how have you been able, and you and your staff, been really able to get them focused, or have you just been lucky in that Cody athletes are ready to go year-round?
That's a good question. I just think that as a staff, how we did things, we was self-fulfilling prophecy. We expected to succeed. And generally speaking, if you're a track and field athlete and you're doing well, you're not gonna have a problem getting to the culminating event. But and we just over time, gradually built stair steps of tradition that in the end made it quite a bit simpler, but not really a problem of people losing interest, I guess, is the answer.
I'm with Coach Scott Schaefer, class of 2019 of the WCA Hall of Fame out of Cody, and I'm told your specialty is pole vault.
It's true. I've been basically pole vaulting or doing pole vault most of my life, so it's kind of been my primary focus as an athlete and as a coach, and we've been very successful. So,
what initially drew you towards the pole vault?
It's fun. It's wicked fun. It's just you do it, and that's one thing with you trying to get athletes to do it. They try it a couple times, and if they have it a little bit, they usually want to come back. So it's just fun. It's snowboarding fun.
Cody has had a lot of firsts in the pole vault along your years. What are some techniques that you were trying to teach kids, or you get them involved first? You want to get them the basics. You want them to keep them safe. But I'm talking about when you want to get that competitive edge, and you say you're going to go take state. What are some of those things that you would teach those kids?
Probably the biggest thing is just staying calm and doing the things you know how to do. I mean, in any athletic endeavor, if you get to a state meet or a conference meet or someplace where you really want to be successful, the big mistake people make is they try to change things. They try to do extra stuff. So, we were, top to bottom on as a track staff, we've always kind of believed in, every day was kind of like a track meet. We didn't compete, but every day we did things like we would do at a track meet. So when we got to a track meet, it was just like Wednesday. So we're jumping against guys instead of jumping against the people on our own team. So I would just say just being consistent and being calm all the time, or most of the time.
I'm not going to ask you to single out one, and I'm not going to ask you to name everyone. It's just whatever's on your mind right now. What have been some of your favorite moments along the way?
Ben Peterson clearing 16.9 at Simplot. That was exciting. 4x8, first 4x8 girls win, 4x800 meter relay win. Girls broke the state record in a 4x4. And just numerous, Lindsay Carlick one time, she was the favorite. It was her senior year. This is years and years ago. And her opening height, missed the first two heights, and so she's one jump from being out, and she goes, and it's not really that good jump, and she just hits the bar hard, and it bounces up 3 feet, lands on the pegs, and stays up, and then the pole hits it and slides over, and it stayed. You're 1 second you're ready to jump off the back of the bleachers, and the next second you have new life. And she went on to win and broke the state record, and and oddly, there's been some times where, we've had guys that didn't successfully clear in their first 3 jumps at state track, and those are memorable because a lot of times in life the stuff that hurts the worst is regret. Your successes, you're like woohoo, but it's the little failures and the things that you feel like you could have maybe done a little bit better that really stick with you, I think. But
Scott Schaefer out of Cody, an inductee into the Wyoming Coaches Association Hall of Fame, 2019. Congratulations one more time.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
We will be back in 30 seconds to give you the rosters one more time for both the North and the South as the volleyball contest of the Wyoming Coaches Foundation 2019 All-Stars is just about upon us. The North in the white, the South in yellow. Back next to start this contest up on mylocalradio.com. When it comes to shopping online, you definitely want to put thelumberyard.com on your list of favorites. You'll save time and money by visiting thelumberyard.com first. You'll find a huge selection of inventory to choose from. We've got everything you need for any of your home, yard, or shop projects. Get excellent prices and quick delivery when you shop at thelumberyard.com. We are part of the local community, plus we ship all over the United States. Log on today to see what all the excitement is about. We welcome you back to the Casper College Swede Erickson Thunderbird Gymnasium as the scoreboard has been lit up, 3 minutes put on to signify the start of this contest momentarily as the South team is currently being announced. We will announce first off with the volleyball officials for this contest, Kathy Hamersmith and Penny Schild. Hamersmith out of Torrington and Schild from Gillette. The coaches, first for the North team, headed up by Stephanie Birch out of Cody. Assistant coach in the game is Randy Bonander out of Powell, and associate coach is Cherie Critchfield from Cody. First for the North squad, Alexa Caballero is out of Worland. Grace DeBay from Natrona County. Kristen Clausen out of Arvada Clearmont. Taylor Lee to Sheridan. Ellie Olson from Buffalo. Paige Powell out of Cody. Micah Rogers from Hewlett. Ashley Steffen out of Shoshone. Aubrey Stenerson out of Powell. Lauren Steveson from Newcastle. Grace Trandle from Wright. And Hartley Thorrington out of Powell. On to the South Side squad. Head coach Angela Rhodes out of Douglas. Assistant coach, 3A state champion Brescia Hansen from Lyman. And associate head coaches Roxanne Jolovich out of Southeast and Melissa Hoopman out of Douglas. The South volleyball roster down in alphabetical order starts with Haley Anderson out of Southeast, Ajahana Archuleta out of Evanston, Katie Banks from Green River, and Allie Bucas from Mountain View. Kaylee Critchfield is also out of Evanston. Olivia Muir, the Lone Star Valley representative in this contest, and she'll play outside for the South team. Cassidy Nelson from Lyman. Olivia Pacheco out of Rollins. Hayden Rhodes from Douglas, daughter of head coach Angela Rhodes and younger sister of Harley Rhodes, who competed in the boys basketball game last season. Janae Tykert and Leona Tykert are cousins out of Cokeville and will both play in this contest. Ashlyn Tittenser rounds out the 12 for the South squad, and she is out of Laramie. For the first set, I've received rotation wheels from both sides, and the outside hitters in set number 1 for the South side is Olivia Muir and Hayden Rhodes. Right side hitter in a 5-1 formation will be Ashlyn Tittenser, and the setter is Olivia Pacheco. Libero in all of these sets, the only libero for the South side in the pink jersey is Allie Bugas out of Mountain View. And the middle hitters for this set number 1 will be Katie Banks and Cassidy Nelson. Now it's a little bit more up into the air of set by set for the North side. As I was talking to Coach Stephanie Birch, she didn't quite have it planned out necessarily, and she said there's room for change. But as we come into the first set, the outside hitters will be Paige Powell and Grace Dubé. Middle hitters, Lauren Steveson and Ellie Olson. And the setter will be Grace Trandle, and Ashley Steffen is listed as the set 1 right side hitter. Now taking a look out onto the court. Let's see what we have. Lauren Steveson up at middle hitter to start things off. Grace Dubé in the back line. Again, the South team is in the yellow jerseys, and they have the opening serve. Goes to the middle, outside, and a left-handed attack by Steffen is retrieved by Bugas, the libero from Mountain View. Hayden Rhodes bumps it over onto the North side, again wearing the white jerseys. Middle attack, high and a little bit over. Lauren Steveson knocks it out for the North, and the first point goes to the South on the MyLocalRadio.com scoreboard.
Point South.
South takes the first point, and it's on, served over to the North. Right side attack by the big heavy hitter, Grace Dubé. Knocks it off the arms of Hayden Rhodes, attacking and trying to block from the left side, and point back to the North. This will be a 5-set contest regardless. There is no first to three. Now there will be a winner to whoever gets 3, but they do play 5 sets guaranteed. At the middle, a block by Ashley Steffen gives North a second point. Score is at 2-1. Grace DeBay heading to Utah State as a libero on the serve to the right of net for the North side. Onto the South, high set up by Pacheco and a tip over. Tittenser finds a donut hole, knocked it over the blocking arms of Steffen right against the net, and there was a deep line defense that could not recover. Some instruction coming out from Stephanie Birch as Grace Trandle, the setter in the backline defender, was caught just a little bit too far back. Serve on to Hayden Rhodes, also moving on as a libero at the D2 level at Black Hills State University in South Dakota. Big hitter Paige Powell is rejected by Casty Nelson. Stays on the north, bumped over by Steffen. Bugis to the middle, Pacheco, middle attack. Nelson, normally an outside, moves to the middle for these All-Stars with a big attack and the kill for the South. Score is at 3-2. Set number 1, Hayden Rhodes with the serve. Jump serve by Rhodes. Powerful return and a good one up by Powell. Backline attack to Bay, rolls it over to Bugis. Onto the south side. Big approach, Muir has to back up on the set. It's returned over the net. Up in another attack by Muir, this one a kill. She shrugs her shoulders and says, I'll guess that will do. 3-3 on the board. Muir with back-to-back attacks. The first one returned back over the net to lead to her second. Hayden Rhodes continues to serve. Jumps it over, just inbounds. Powell pushes it up and gets the opening attack. Tips over 2 blockers, and an over-the-line, no into the net attack called against Paige Powell. Gives point number 3 in a row to the South. Score has been corrected, or one way or another, it's standing at 5-2. It was at 4-3. Outside attack, Powell hits it from the 10-foot line and knocks it out of bounds, no touch rule. 6-2. The North getting the first couple of points, but struggling since. Rhodes on a serving run is ended with an error into the net. 6-3 on the board in this serve and set number 1. Sub in for the North is Lauren Steveson. Steveson moving into the back line to serve. First attack, a tandem attack. Fake to the middle, goes outside to Muir. The ball hits down. That tandem attack was between Muir and Ashlyn Tittenzer, who was setting up in the middle in the rotation. Gives the ball right back to the serve of Allie Bugis. Libero wearing the pink jersey out of Mountain View. Mountain View playing for 3rd place in this year's 3A state tournament at the volleyball side. Right side attack by Tittenzer off the arms of Olsen and a point. Ashlyn Tittenzer, part of the runner-up Laramie Plainsman squad, losing in 4 sets to the Kelly Walsh Trojans. Serve out of bounds by Bugis. Tittenzer, a 3-year starter for a Laramie program headed up by Becky Baker, formerly Becky Stewart, University of Wyoming volleyball athlete. Serve to the north side at Steffen. 8-4 the score. Outside attack is faked. To the middle, Katie Banks into the game, and her first impact attack is a kill. Katie Banks with the black headband. Middle hitter coming out of Green River. She's been a starter on the volleyball program there since she was a freshman. Moved between middle hitter and outside. Listed at 6 feet. Heading to the University of Wyoming to major in family consumer science. Would like to become a nutritionist. 9-4 on the board in favor of the South. Tittenzer serves long. DeBay opts to return. May have been heading out. Libero Clausen and 3 and over. Paige Powell gets it onto the south side. Jump set. Pacheco to Muir. Cross-court attack is thwarted. To the middle. A deep set outside. Powell goes back. Uses her long arms to get a good attack up. Middle tip. Banks is blocked. Still on the south. Pacheco with the dump set. Still in the air and finally falling down. Olivia Pacheco of Rollins with the kill. Olivia Pacheco, a multi-year setter for Rollins, heading to Miles Community College to play basketball. This is her swan song. Timeout taken by the North. It's 10-4 on the board, and we'll be back next on this exclusive coverage of the WCF on MyLocalRadio.com.
Do you really think you can get a better deal on a vehicle in the city? Poppycock! Rocky Mountain Yeti is hungry for your business and will beat any bona fide deal on any vehicle, or they'll give it to you as a gift. Now that's legendary. Rocky Mountain Yeti Evanston, home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile legendary warranty, where legendary customer service is not a myth.
Welcome back to the Sweet Erickson Center. Jake Hibbert joining you in set number 1 and contest number 1 of 3 today. The Wyoming Coaches Foundation All-Star Games going on all day today here at Casper College. Join us if you can't be here on mylocalradio.com with that full video coverage. If you're in the Evanston listening area and on the radio right now, yes, we are streaming that video live. And 2 competitors from Evanston in this contest right now, in Kaylee Critchfield and Ajohanna Archuleta, both sitting out the first set. They will be playing in the, I know Ajohanna will be playing in the second, third, and fourth. Kaylee Critchfield will be playing in 3 future sets as well. Also have lots of girls from the Bridger Valley. Allie Bugus of Mountain View currently in the contest, and Casty Nelson in the rotation, but on the bench right now in place of Katie Banks up in the front line, one of the 2 middle hitters for this first set. Back underway in the south with the serve over. It's Ashlyn Tittenser, and a setup to the outside. Ellie Olsen is blocked by Katie Banks. 1 kill and 1 block for Katie Banks, who opted not to continue her volleyball career, didn't like the offer she was getting, and said, I'm just going to move on and focus on becoming a nutritionist. Again, headed to the University of Wyoming. Tittenser with the serve. Over, and a rare bad return by Grace DeBay. 3 bumps onto the south side. Pacheco dump set, try it again. Diving save by the future libero DeBay. Push over, stays with the south. Pacheco to Muir, too far, too long, and untouched. Ball point finally back to the north. Grace Trandle, the 5-1 setter for the north side this opening set. An ace by Ashley Steffen off the front hands of Allie Bugus. Pardon me, that was Paige Powell on the serve. Back-to-back points for the north. Trying to climb back in this opening set. A service error, long and out of bounds off that back line. Back to the south. Serving for the south out of Star Valley, and soon to call this gym her home, Olivia Muir, future Casper College signee. 1 of 4 in this volleyball contest that's signed with Casper College Volleyball. Back set to Ellie Olsen, and a return down the line is out of bounds. And a point back to the south.
Point south, Muir will serve.
Ellie Olsen coming out of Buffalo. She's moving to Laramie Community College to play soccer, a 4-time All-State competitor out of Buffalo. 3A Buffalo Bison. Down the line, and Grace Dubé gets a point for the north.
Dubé down the line for the north for the point.
Also coming out of Buffalo was an inductee of the Wyoming Coaches Association Hall of Fame yesterday, Dick Edgecombe. Introduced Buffalo, the town, to the sport of soccer back in 1979. Has been developing that sport ever since. Little push over by the 5'2", Hayden Rhodes from the south side. Dump kill over, makes it 14-7 in favor of the south. North team struggling here. Kristen Clausen checks in for Ellie Olsen in the back line. Clausen wearing the yellow libero jersey for the north. Everyone else on the north side in white. Push up. Trandle outside. DeBay is blocked. Nelson and Pacheco. Mostly Pacheco on the block. Looking down the line at the opening set outside hitters, you cannot really go wrong with Paige Powell and Grace Dubé playing opposite each other. But so far, the middle and right side hitters have shut down the northern hitters. Katie Banks, a server, was top 10 in service aces per set 3 years of her high school career during the Green River volleyball run. Outside attack, Rhodes gets it to the north side. It's tipped over. Casty Nelson touches it down, and the south has another point. Particularly looking at the front line of Grace DeBay and Paige Powell, I thought maybe the north had a little bit of an advantage on the left side hitting. Has not proved to be that way. Olivia Muir hitting more than capably for the south side, and that's what she did all her years at Star Valley. And the middle blockers, Casty Nelson moving into that position along with Katie Banks, has really made a tight blocking duo. Hayden Rhodes, back-to-back kills for the south, 16-7. Makes it 17-7.
In Douglas, we call that a Rhodes kill. Katie Banks to serve.
Banks still serving for the south. Line drive to Powell in the back middle. Bumped up by Trandle, and a push over. Dump by Pacheco. She has 2 kills and 1 block in the set as a setter. Lauren Steveson tried to get the kill. Pacheco dumped it over. It's 18-7. The North needs their second timeout. We'll take it with them. Back in 30 seconds. The score is 18-7 on the board in the first set in favor of the South All-Stars here at the Sweet Erickson Center in Casper, Wyoming. Jake Hibbert joining you in this first set of the WCF All-Star Weekend. Volleyball right now on mylocalradio.com.
Student success is attributed to many different factors. Parents, teachers, and coaches are some we think of first. The fact is, the list goes much deeper. School administrators help teachers be their best. School boards help administrators set and achieve the goals of the community. The Wyoming School Board Association serves school districts with education, information, and networking. The WSBA has served Wyoming schools since 1945. WSBA, empowering student achievement through school district leadership.
Getting a view of the court back underway, 18-7 here at the WCF All-Star Games. Katie Banks serving it over for the south side onto the north right side of the net. Dubé with a big attack, goes high, she wants a touch, and gets it from Bill Thompson, the back line judge in this contest. Bill Thompson's been a coach in these WCF All-Star Games many times, doing line judging today. Current head coach of the state champion Cokeville Panthers at the 1A level. Pacheco, outside, Rhodes crosses it over. Back onto Rhodes on a tee over the net, out of bounds, and the point out of the break goes to the North. North trails by 10, 18-8. Grace Trandle, the setter for the North in this first set, has the serve over. Middle quick to Nelson, picked up on a partial block. Dubé takes a shoot outside, uses the left hand. Nearly not dug out by Rhodes, and a double hit and a lift called. Pacheco and Tittens are both going for it on the south side. Makes it 18-10. Back-to-back points out of the break. South still in the charge, but an ace off Allie Bugis keeps Trandle in the serving line for the North, 18-11.
Trandle will serve again.
Trandle takes the approach, shoots a line drive into the arms of Rhodes. Over the line, called on Cassidy Nelson, gives another point to the North. Nelson came attacking powerfully from the left side. A little bit wildly, though, and she got her whole right foot over that line by about a foot length. Trandle continues to serve. Rhodes wants a middle. Instead, it's outside to Nelson. Blocked. Allie Bugis picks it up. Pacheco to the middle. Rhodes onto the North. Trandle dump set to Tittenser in the back right side. Down to the ground, Pacheco sets up Rhodes. Deep cross. Dubé with the first hit. Back set from Trandle. Steffen hits it up to Bugis. Onto the south side. Another dump set attempted by Pacheco, but this time the North ready. Dubé on the return attack onto the south side. Hayden Rhodes takes a big approach. Off the arms of Trandle down the deep line. And it's a point to the South, 19-12. Olivia Pacheco with the serve. Again, she's moving on to Miles Community College in Miles City, Montana. That to play basketball, so this her last volleyball contest of the foreseeable future. Serves it long out of bounds, gives it up to Grace Dubé for the north side on the serve. 19-13 to score. Dubé to the back middle. Allie Bugis to Pacheco, sets up to Tittenser. Dump set by Trandle onto the south side. Nelson tees off and wins that battle against Lauren Stevenson for the north side. Point to the South, 20-13.
Hayden Rhodes to serve.
Hayden Rhodes back on the serve. She had quite the run earlier in this set. Lofts it over to Paige Powell. Powell sets up for the attack off the arm of Cassidy Nelson, and a point to the North. North trails by 6 points. Lauren Stevenson on the serve. Pacheco bumps it up to Muir. Outside off the tip. Powell attacks. Down on the block. Off the hands of Cassidy Nelson, and Paige Powell with a point. Tightening up here, 20-15 on the scoreboard. Lauren Stevenson continues to serve, floats it out of bounds. And that puts it back onto the south side. Allie Bugus with the serve. Shoots it over, back middle. Outside attack behind the 10-foot line by Grace Dubé, back to the south. Katie Banks hits it. To Powell, cross quarter, too far, out of bounds, point south. Just 4 points away from taking a set 1 victory here for the South. Allie Bugus with the attack. Serves it over to Clausen. Goes over near the bleachers. Picked back out. That one by Stenerson on the pick out to the middle. Katie Banks sends it down. What a high point of attack and a quick termination angle. The geometry on that play for Katie Banks puts the South 2 away. Serve to Bugus. Push up onto the North. Ellie Olsen tries to get an attack down. Dug out of the net for a third hit over. Pacheco is called for a fourth. 23-16 on the scoreboard here at Casper College. 7-point deficit for the North. Lefty attacks. Stenerson gives it up. First attack to the right side. Tittenser. Trandle on a dump set. Dug out. Pacheco can't get it over the net on a third attack. 23-17. Steffen serves it over. Bugus dives and makes the save. 10-foot line attack on the flat foot by Olivia Muir. Paige Powell tries to return fire and does. Fires up her own team in the process. Still down by 5 though. 23-18. Point on to the North. And Ashley Steffen with the serve. Out of bounds. We are at set point number 1 for the South. Serving for the set point, Ashlyn Tittenser out of Laramie. Laramie won conference back-to-back years, her junior and senior season. Serving with the right arm. Into the net. Well, let's try set point number 2 for the South. This time, though, they are in the serve-receive. Rally scoring, changing all of that dynamic for high school volleyball so many years ago. And back-to-back points for the North have them on a much-needed run, 24-20. Set point number 3. Powell on the serve again. DeBay in the front line outside if the North should get it. Bugus to Pacheco, tight on the net, just kept it on the line. Trandle sets up to DeBay, hits just left of center. Pacheco to Muir for the South. Awkward attack, may work for a point though, it does. Shot into the net on the return by the North, and the South takes the opening set 25-20. Set 2, we'll see a change of lineups all the way around. When we come back in a couple, we will give them to you as we see them. We are on mylocalradio.com with exclusive coverage of the WCF All-Star Games. Set 2 of volleyball up next.
Student success is attributed to many different factors. Parents, teachers, and coaches are some we think of first. The fact is, the list goes much deeper. School administrators help teachers be their best. School boards help administrators set and achieve the goals of the community. The Wyoming School Board Association serves school districts with education, information, and networking. The WSBA has served Wyoming schools since 1945. WSBA, empowering student achievement through school district leadership.
Hello, this is Dr. McKay Frankham. As a dentist in Evanston for over 20 years now, my mission has always been to provide quality dental care for people of all ages at reasonable prices. I'm a detail-oriented person, and it's important to me to stay current on new dental procedures and protocols that can help my patients have the best experience and have the best results. Over the years, I've also worked to keep my overhead low so that I can pass those savings on to my patients. I believe everyone deserves quality dental care. Please call us today at 307-789-8910.
As your local Ricoh, Toshiba, and Sharp dealer, Mountain West Business Solutions represents quality office equipment that lasts. We work with each client to understand your workflow, your goals, and your bottom line. Whether you lease or purchase office equipment, we have many ways to work with you to provide the best products at the best value. We also service and provide supplies for HP printers. Call Mountain West Business Solutions today. Let us help you find the best solutions for you and your business.
If you want your truck to really catch the eye, have the professionals at Plains Tire in Evanston install a custom lift kit with new tires and wheels. We've got a huge selection to choose from, so no matter what your style is, we've got the tires and wheels to make you smile. The way your truck looks reflects on you. Get the reflection you want with a lift kit, new tires, and wheels from Plains Tire in Evanston, the tire professionals. 157 Bear River Drive. Stop in today.
Take a look at the South team switching sides after winning that opening set, and let you know that this second set today is brought to you by the Come On In of Casper. Also, today's broadcast is brought to you in part by Yeager's Auto Body in Green River, Wyoming. For nearly 45 years, Yeager's Auto Body in Green River has been among the most trusted shops in southwest Wyoming and beyond. There's a reason why the biggest auto dealers in the area trust their vehicles to Yeager's Auto Body. Give them a call today at 307-875-2448 or go see them at 360 West Flaming Gorge Way in Green River. I'm joined in this second set by Keith Francic out of Cody, a former WCA All-Star Director, Volleyball All-Star Director. You handled all that. Now you're on to the Hall of Fame board. Is that right, Keith?
That's correct. Yeah, I've graduated, I guess. I've gone from the Wyoming Coaches Association Board of Control, and now I'm on the Hall of Fame board.
Got a little weird audio right there. See if I can fix that here.
I probably stepped on something coming up here, Jake. That'd
That's
be
okay.
my guess.
I think it might be good now. And he'll be joining us for the second set. And as I set it up, I think I have a list of who should be playing in that second set. Yes, I do. Outside hitters for the South Side switch on to Olivia Muir stays on, but Haley Anderson out of Southeast comes in. Middle hitters, Ajahana Archuleta out of Evanston and Casty Nelson from Lyman. Hayden Rhodes will be the libero for this set. She played outside last set. And right side hitters, Leona Tykert and Janae Tykert. And Janae will be playing as a DS as well. Kaylee Critchfield, the setter, in this 5-1 formation for the South. The North has the opening set, opening serve over, and it's on to the South. Right side attack, picked up by Anderson and knocked out for the first point. Keith, you're going to be giving me some color commentary, what you're seeing throughout this game, and what did you see in that first set?
Well, I think, North made a nice comeback to get to a pretty close score. The difference, I thought, was just, first of all, the South blocking and also the Pacheco girl from Rollins putting on a setting clinic. She really did a great job. North does have some momentum right now, though.
Yes, they do, and now we got you at a level that was just a little bit high. Maybe I'll figure that out here in a second. 2-0 in favor of the South early on. For the North side, coming in the second set, Aubrey Stenerson playing in the back line. At the moment, Paige Powell and Grace Trandle stay in. And Hartley Thorrington hitting from the right side knocks it into the net, 3-0. Take a look around, see if I get the other ones. Alexa Caballero is in for the North as well, and the libero switches over to Micah Rogers. Serving to the net, and it makes it 3-2. The North getting a couple of points on airs. And for you, Keith, when you see a girl like that in Pacheco setting and then knowing she's moving on to go play college basketball, she certainly could have had an opportunity to continue setting at the volleyball, don't you think?
Oh, yeah, no question about it. The only drawback, she's not a very big girl, and a lot of the universities want to play a 5-1 offense, which puts the setter in the front row half the time, and that would be a disadvantage, but she is a talented setter.
Hartley Thorrington serves it into the net, and the North loses a point. South up 4-2.
And we're kind of seeing a typical all-star situation here. We have a different combination this time. The girls are really tight and probably a slow start. We could anticipate that.
Yeah, a lot of times you think the second set, everyone's got it going, but no, there's a lot of girls playing for the first time today.
Yeah.
Caballero gets partially blocked. Muir picks back up, goes cross court. Picked up by Stenerson to the outside. A big hit by Paige Powell. Blocked out of bounds by Cassidy Nelson, point North.
So, yeah, probably the best hitter in the gym right there in Paige Powell, who just blasts the ball so hard. Good block up, but she hit it so hard that it went almost to the back wall. she's a different kind of hitter, that's for sure.
She's a different kind of jumper, too. That adds so much to her game. And then the length of that wingspan outside to Cassidy Nelson onto the south. Keeps it line. Caballero with the pickup. Paige Powell back down the line herself, but out of bounds, and no touch ruled. Point to the south, 5-3.
Just missed on the outside, and as you were saying with the other girl, Jake, here's a girl who's going to go play basketball at the University of Wyoming.
And she's certainly could have played. I talked to a few scouts who were a little upset that she'd already signed for basketball during the state volleyball tournament.
Yeah, Colorado State loved her at the state tournament.
Janae Tykert out of Cokeville in for the first time today, serves it just inbounds for an ace.
Nice floating serve. You know, that's what you really want on these serves where you stand on the floor and the ball really fell. It's like a knuckleball, and it just fell and hit the line. I thought it was going to be out. Came down nice.
And her coach, the backline judge for that south side, and state champs out of Cokeville.
Right.
Bump set by Trandle to the right side. Powell tries to work a tandem, but it goes cross court out of bounds, and 7-3. The South picking that advantage right back up, Keith.
Yeah, they are, and you know, unforced errors would be the problem with the North team right now. They have not earned very many points in this whole match. They've had some given to them. They need to definitely sharpen up their offense. There's a good place to start. Paige Powell.
Paige Powell hits it off the arms of Olivia Muir. These two players going at it as Powell's in her final front line rotation and takes the serve. 7-4 the score. Again, this second set brought to you by the come on in of Casper. Third set will be brought to them by them as well, and then the fourth and fifth sets will be brought to you by the Wyoming School Board Association. Outside attack by Stenerson is long and out of bounds. Point back to the south. Aubrey Stenerson getting her first action coming out of Powell.
That's Aubrey's first swing. She's a good player. She'll play better, but again, an unforced error on the part of the North team.
Righty serve by Olivia Muir goes to Powell. Trandle bumps over by Stenerson onto the south side. Critchfield tries to shoot to the back line in a libero attack. Hayden Rhodes to the middle is blocked on the north, trying to get it back out of the net. Dug up, and Powell bumps it onto the south side. Kaylee Critchfield sets it high and sets up to Haley Anderson onto the north. Shoot to the outside, blocked on the Stenerson attack. Try it again on a dump set, this time by Trandle. Bump set by Critchfield, and in the back line, Rhodes takes control. On to the north, 8-4 the score. Stenerson from the 10-foot line goes long and out.
That's our first extended volley of the whole match, and I think that's a good sign for both teams. They're both finally starting to get to where they can execute much better.
Olivia Muir with the serve for the south side, leading by 5 in 1-0. Paige Powell with the push-up and gets called for the lift.
You know, the serve was right at her, and she probably should have just gotten out of the way of the ball, but she had to make a really ugly play, and a good call on the part of the official.
I don't know that I've seen an increase in it, but do you think sometimes players are relying too much on that defense on the back line of instead of the bump or getting out of the way?
Without a doubt. Yeah, that's become a call that just isn't made very often, and so players have gone to that, and it's made the game a little uglier in my view. There's a timeout for the North.
11-4 the score. The North trailing by 7. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Set number 2 here at the Wyoming Coaches Foundation All-Star Weekend. The Sweet Erickson Center on MyLocalRadio.com.
The best place to stay when you're in Casper, Wyoming is the Come On In Hotel and Suites. This beautiful log hotel offers 5 hot tubs, 1 pool, a fitness center, and fabulous indoor atrium. Offering jacuzzi and fireplace suites, the guest rooms are comfortable and relaxing. Plus, every stay includes a delicious extended continental breakfast. Whenever you're in Casper, stay at the best place. Come On In Hotel and Suites. Come on in today. Come On In Hotel and Suites, Casper.
Back here at the Swede in Casper, Wyoming, and the South up 11-4 on the board after taking the first set by a final of 25-20. A late comeback by the North pushed that score a little bit tighter, but we've seen a switch of lineups for the South, about half new players. Hayden Rhodes playing in the back line instead of outside hitter, but the result's been the same so far.
Yeah, they seem to be. The North is certainly without who I thought was the best player in the gym in the first set, and that's Grace Dubé from Natrona. So that's hurt them, but, you know, that's an all-star situation. You want everybody to play and even start a set or two.
Outside, no right side to Cassidy Nelson, the middle hitter. Dug out by Kaylee Critchfield to keep it in play. Rhodes from the back line sends it over to the north side. 10-foot line attack is blocked. Dug, though, by Stenerson. But 4 hits calls, they say it was off the tape, not off the hands of the South blockers.
And this is a problem that the North team is having. Probably their passing game is just not good enough to go middle. That is about the first swing that I've seen out of the middle from the North.
Jake Hibbert joined by Keith Francic in this second set. Back middle, Micah Rogers gets it up to Paige Powell, who sets it over to Stenerson. On a cross-court shot, it's Muir wanting the attack, but instead it's a tandem back line. Casty Nelson gets blocked. To recover, Kaylee Critchfield rolls it over behind the back. Trandle to the outside. Stenerson approaches a low set and pushes it over to Tykert. Onto the attack, 10-foot line. Haley Anderson was just kind of at a weird angle, didn't get a good shot at it, and it goes out of bounds.
In the setting game, that time looked much better for the North. They've struggled with their setting, but the girl from Wright, Grace Trandle, had a very nice set to make that thing go the full distance.
Kaylee Critchfield to the right side. Nelson winds up and play on ruled. Caballero to the middle. And a shot down on the kill. Hartley Thornton gets her first point of these All-Star games for the North.
South looks vulnerable in the middle based on what we've seen, but the North is unable to attack the middle. So I'm sure that Coach Birch is emphasizing go middle, go middle.
Serve over. Critchfield on the first attack to Nelson at the middle. Returned by the North. Second shot, bump over, back to the south side. Haley Anderson tries to tip over the block this time. Caballero was there, but didn't get enough power on it for a second shot up. Scores at 13-6.
That off-speed attack or a tip on the left side has done very well for the South. They are executing that play beautifully, and the North has not responded very well to it.
Casty Nelson with the serve, out of Lyman and heading on to play at Shadron State. Block by Ajahana, keeps it down. Onto the north side on a bump up. Grace DeBay getting fired up down on the sidelines for the north side, cheering on her teammates as Stenerson knocks it off the arms of Kaylee Critchfield.
Stenerson tooling the block that time. She's not a very big girl on the left side, and she had a big block in front of her and looked like she was able to wipe it off the block and out of bounds. Smart hit on the part of Stenerson.
Second set is a 5-1 formation. I believe the South is on to a 6-2 for the next 2 sets after this one, but Kaylee Critchfield out of Evanston did play in a 5-1 at times this year, but mostly played out of a 6-2.
Yeah, I don't have any stats on the serving game, but I certainly think the South has had a better serving game. The North, unfortunately, has missed some serves at really critical times here, and we have some sort of a lineup check going on.
Yeah, I think we got Kaylee Critchfield should be the one serving, and it was Anderson back. Anderson coming out of 2A Southeast. I'm told just south of Torrington. I've never been there myself, but quite a good hitter out of the 2A ranks. Ace serve off of Micah Rogers.
Yeah, Paige Powell just about able to kick the ball off. She couldn't quite get her foot under it. That would have been a nice one. The crowd would have liked that.
Kaylee Critchfield with the second serve. 8-point advantage. And a shot to the back left side. Nearly into the bleachers. Caballero digs it up. Rogers just over the net. Good first attack. Leads up to Anderson cross court, but out. And Haley Anderson struggling to get the ball down a little bit at the moment.
Yeah, it looks like she's under the ball. Probably just anticipation. Just wants to get to the ball too quickly and gets under it.
Onto a serve by Stenerson. Saved by Rhodes. Back set. Anderson pushes it over. Back to Rogers. Shoot to the outside, and a big attack by Powell is saved by Hayden Rhodes. She's moving on to Black Hills State as a libero. You see why there. Trandle tries Powell again. Back to Rhodes at the middle spot. Good pass and a setup this time. Anderson takes the low set, but again, can't get the ball down, and it's out of bounds, point to the North.
That was a great volley. Hayden Rhodes doing an outstanding job digging Paige Powell, and that is not an easy thing to do.
Not a lot of people did that.
No. If you have any common sense, you don't want to be anywhere around that ball.
Stenerson serves long and out. And the run ends for the North.
And the North is really struggling with this momentum. They just can't maintain momentum because they continue to miss serves at critical times.
Haley Anderson on the serve. Again, out of Southeast to the north side. Back set. Wind up by Thornton. Partially blocked. And a push by Archuleta. Ajahana out of Evanston on the board for the first time today.
Archuleta with a beautiful heads-up play to push that ball back to zone one. Nobody there. Very, very nicely done.
Getting congratulated by Leona Tykert, a right side hitter playing in set number 2, also out of Cokeville. First cousins with Janae Tykert, and second cousins with Star Valley head coach Chad Tykert. Out of bounds hit from the outside for the North. Point goes back to the South, and they lead by double, 18-9. Powell.
There we go. Nope.
No, it goes to Thornton on the right side. Using Powell as a decoy. Onto the south side. Critchfield to the middle. Archuleta pushes it over. Trandle to Caballero. Powell off the hands of Leona Tykert.
You know, when the North gets a good pass and consequently a good set out to Powell, they're just about unstoppable. But it seems like the passing game and the serving game can't quite get the ball to her consistently enough.
Serve over by Thornton, high up to Critchfield. Fakes middle, goes to the right side, off of Archuleta. A flip over, keeps it in play to the south. 10-foot line, and Muir with the kill off of the north side. Lauren Stevenson had her arms go off the left side.
Yeah, and she made a really nice save there. It's too bad she had to lose. Her team lost the volley, but a nice save.
Serve out of bounds.
Hayden Rhodes, 5'2", and she's got this big booming jump serve, topspin jump serve. She just barely missed the out of bounds line. She is an exciting player to watch at 5'2".
She played outside hitter throughout high school. Played libero at the club level, and of course going on to Black Hills as a libero, 20-11.
She had a great kill down the line in set one. She's an all-around player. Of course, comes from a great family. Her mom, Angela Rhodes, I coached against her when she was a setter at Kelly Walsh, Angie Woodworth, and she was just an outstanding player herself.
Bump up onto the north side. Back line attack by Rogers is high and out. And it's 21-11. This will happen in the girls' basketball game a little bit later, but Olivia Smith and McKinley Bradshaw both playing in that contest for the south side. And their mothers played in the WCA All-Star games as teammates.
That's great.
Back in the 90s.
That's great. I love seeing that.
Both
we
them.
got 2 contacts called there.
A double hit makes it 22-11, and the North having this set fall apart for them. Cassidy Nelson also out of lineman playing in this contest for the South.
Yeah, North is just out of sync. This particular team is just out of sync.
Right side attack and a big windup by Powell, but kind of easy to see where she's going. She didn't have too many angles to approach. And a hit low, goes out.
Out of bounds, no touch.
And that was Lauren Stevenson. 23-11, and the shot went high, but Stevenson was low when she attacked, well below the net. Try right side to Powell. Shoot to the middle, and a little pancake up by Rhodes, the last line of defense. Fake the dump, went to the middle, and a flip onto the line, and there you go, Lauren Stevenson on the board.
Stevenson with a nice play again. She has really good handball control at the net, which you like to see with a middle player like that. She's pretty impressive.
Set brought to you by the Come On In of Casper. 5 hot tubs and a couple of pools as well. Come on in. Best place to go when you're in Casper. Flip over by the North. Kaylee Critchfield to the middle. Cassidy Nelson with the kill.
Yeah, nice short attack out of the middle. That's what the North is missing. South is doing that well. Boy, that Hayden Rhodes has really impressed me in this second set. What a terrific job she's done as a libero.
I think that Black Hills State was a wise signing on their part.
They're going to like her. They're going to like her.
Set point number 1, Muir on the serve, and Powell just gets it over to Trandle. Flip onto the south side of the net. Dump set by Critchfield ends it. And Kaylee Critchfield out of Evanston gets the set point winner. 25-12 the final in set number 2. Keith Francic joining me in the second set here on the WCA Hall of Fame board, and we wouldn't be doing this if I didn't contact you all those years ago and say, hey, what are we going to do? What can I do the volleyball game? He said, how about we do all 3, and we've been here ever since. Thanks so much.
And I tell you what, thank you. This has just been a great addition to our whole All-Star Week, and we appreciate that so much. We appreciate the exposure and the outstanding professional job that you guys do. Just thank you very much from all of us at the Coaches Association.
Well, thank you, and thanks for joining me. We'll be back with the third set next. North versus South, the South leading 2-0 over the North. This is My Local Radio exclusive coverage of the WCF All-Star Games.
The best place to stay when you're in Casper, Wyoming is the Come On In Hotel and Suites. This beautiful log hotel offers 5 hot tubs, 1 pool, a fitness center, and fabulous indoor atrium. Offering jacuzzi and fireplace suites, the guest rooms are comfortable and relaxing. Plus, every stay includes a delicious extended continental breakfast. Whenever you're in Casper, stay at the best place. Come on in Hotel and Suites. Come on in today. Come on in Hotel and Suites, Casper.
Do you really think you can get a better deal on a vehicle in the city? Poppycock! Rocky Mountain Yeti is hungry for your business and will beat any bona fide deal on any vehicle, or they'll give it to you as a gift. Now that's legendary. Rocky Mountain Yeti Evanston, home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile legendary warranty, where legendary customer service is not a myth.
No matter what season of the year it is, when you live in our neck of the woods, you need outdoor power equipment. With quality product lines like Stihl, Toro, and Walker, Superior Rental and Sales has what you need for every season. Everything from homeowner to professional grade products. Plus, when it comes to maintenance, you're covered. Our full-time mechanic is available for tune-ups, maintenance, chain sharpening, whatever you need. Stop in today, Superior Rental and Sales, 371 Prospector Drive, here in Evanston.
It's important to feel like you belong. At Trona Valley Federal Credit Union, we understand the value of connection. When you become a member, you join our family. You become an owner of a not-for-profit financial organization, and your success becomes our success. We give back to our members by offering lower loan rates, fewer fees, higher yields, and more products and services. Become a member of Trona Valley Federal Credit Union today, and let's work together to reach your financial goals. We're a caring partner here for you. Member NCUA.
Set number 1 and 2 went the South's way as we welcome you back to coverage of the Wyoming Coaches Foundation All-Star Games. Third set brought to you by the Come On In of Casper. And when you're looking for a trip on to Casper, don't settle for anything less than the best. Stay at the Come On In. Today's broadcast also brought to you in part by Yeager's Auto Body in Green River, Wyoming. On this day 50 years ago, 1969, Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong became the first men to walk on the moon with Apollo 11. And when you're in the market for over-the-moon service with your vehicle, take it to Yeager's Automotive and Yeager's Auto Body in Green River, Wyoming. Yeager's Auto Body in Green River, proud sponsor of the Wyoming Coaches Foundation All-Star Games. Give them a call at 307-875-2448. On to set number 3, and the South has the serve. And Kaylee Critchfield serving. Again, a 6-2 formation for the South this set. The setters, of course, will be Kaylee Critchfield and Olivia Pacheco. Pacheco will play all the way around as a right side hitter up in the front. Leona Tykert, the other right side hitter. Middle hitters are Ashlyn Tittenser and Haley Anderson. A service ace by Critchfield to start things off in the All-Star game. And the South has another 1-0 lead. Continue that momentarily on the roster look around. Ajahana Archuleta moves to the outside for this set, along with Janae Tykert. And the libero stays Allie Bugis. Paige Powell from the back line for the North into this third set as well. Big outside attack by Janae. Pick up onto the North. DeBay is blocked, but it's blocked out of bounds, and the point goes to the North. It's 1-1. Take a look down for the North. Coach Birch said she didn't have it exactly figured out, and there would be changes made on the fly. And see what we got here. Grace DeBay hitting opposite of Paige Powell in the outside positions for the North. DeBay in the back line right now making a save. Second hit and third over. Hartley Thorrington getting it over to the south side. Pacheco misses low on the setup from Kaylee Critchfield. Critchfield taps her just to say that was my bad. Dubé with the serve. Taylor Lee setting for the first time today for the north side. Grace Trandle got the first and second sets. Janae Tykert attacks from the right side and gets her first kill of the set. 2-2 on the board. The South up 2-0. Hitting to the left side of the net in the yellow jerseys, the North in the right side with the white jerseys. An ace off of Kristen Clausen. Gives the South a 3-2 lead. Tykert serving, that being Janae. Leona up into the front line. Not quite yet, though. Ashlyn Tittenser and Olivia Pacheco and Ajahana Archuleta up into the front row for the South. Archuleta for their first outside attack. It's out of bounds. 3-3, we're tied up through the first 6 points at least, as the first 2 sets have gone the South's way, 25-20 and 25-12. Hartley Thornton serving. Big middle attack faked and then just flipped over by Pacheco. I think she got her back wound up a little bit, as that was supposed to be a bigger attack than it came in to be, but it works as a kill. 4-3 to the South. Haley Anderson wants to check in, but maybe not quite yet. Taylor Lee setting for the north side. Ellie Olsen in the middle position. Paige Powell up at outside. DeBay Clausen and Ashley Steffen in the back line. An ace serve off of Steffen gives the South a 2-point advantage.
Ace for Bugis.
Allie Bugis out of Mountain View. Bump up from Bugis. Critchfield to the left side, and Archuleta attacks, but out of bounds. Allie Bugis moving on as a libero right here at Casper College. Wants to go into elementary education. And this came up not on purpose over the week, but it did come up. Allie Bugis, not the biggest fan of cats. Says she's a little afraid of them. To the outside, Paige Powell tries to terminate. Critchfield returns back over the net. Clausen, the libero, backs up. Lee on the attack. It's Thorington. Push back. No, that was Olsen. A dump set by Pacheco. Lee sets up again, this time to Powell on the left side, off the hands of Haley Anderson and Pacheco. Point back, and we're all knotted up at 5 on the board. Competitive third set through the first 10 points, no separation. And the serve goes to the South. To the North. A serve off just in front of Janae Teichert. And the North has its first lead this deep into a set. Try it back to the lefty Steffen, the right side hitter. Kaylee Critchfield winds up, right side attack by Pacheco's blocked by Powell. Janae Teichert can't recover, neither can Kaylee Critchfield. A 2-point advantage has been opened up.
Steffen to serve.
Steffen serving. On the left side, it's Archuleta to the middle. Donut hole, found it, and then found a photographer. Point back to the South, 6-7 the score. There is yet to be a timeout taken by the South side. Olivia Pacheco back as a setter. Line drive serve. Clausen can handle it. It's an ace.
Point South. Olivia Pacheco to serve.
There are 2 number 2s in at the moment. One being Stenerson and the other one being Kristen Clausen, the libero. That for the north side. Net touching. Ties everything up for the South, 7-all on the board. Third set brought to you by the come on in of Casper. Line drive serve, and Grace Dubé gets the return up. Lee sets up to the outside. Olsen is blocked. And point to the South, they're ahead by 2.
Pacheco to serve.
Olivia Pacheco with the serve up. Again, line drive, and Clausen is being targeted at the moment. Stenerson. And a kill down. Kill again for the South, this time by Haley Anderson. She had a little bit of trouble in the second set getting anything to work out. Third set goes to Stenerson on the return up to the middle of Paige Powell, up in front of Allie Bugis. Paige Powell went from 1A encampment as a junior to 4A Cody, and Cody went from 3A Cody to 4A Cody with expansion from 12 to 16 teams allowed in 4A. Made a big splash on the volleyball scene. Ace serve, and we hit a pop. on the scorer's table right next to that Daktronics board. Point to the North. It's 10-8 on the board. North trailing the South. Paige Powell on the serve. North on the right side of the net. Tied on the net, and Pacheco tried to set up, and Ellie Olsen went over the top and gets called for it. South leading by 2. Getting a towel out to clean off that scorer's table as Archuleta serves into the net for the South and gives a point back to the North. After this game, we have the girls basketball all-star games, same place, starting at about 3 p.m. Different stream for that. Ryan Steinekert on the call. Leona Tykert blocked into the net and try to kick it out. South loses another point. We're knotted back up.
Ties it at 11. Ellie Olsen to serve.
Third set brought to you by the Come On In of Casper. Next 2 sets will be brought to you by the Wyoming School Board Association. Three and over. They call them 4 hits for the South as we get a little messy out there.
Point North. Olsen to serve.
Olsen serving for the North. Shoots it back middle. Bugis to Pacheco. Outside Tykert has to recover. Back-to-back 4 hits. Actually, that one's called out of bounds in the official book because
Olsen to serve.
Tykert hit the left pole. Trying to bump the ball up. Olsen on the serve over to back to Bugis. Pacheco fakes middle to the right side. 2 players converge in the middle. Onto the north side, Hartley Thorrington bumps it over. Archuleta with the first pass. Down to the ground, Pacheco sets up Anderson. That attack line continues to be a bit of a struggle for Haley Anderson. It's 14-11. The North is on top by 3. We'll be back in 30 seconds on this Wyoming Coaches Foundation exclusive on mylocalradio.com of the volleyball contest.
The best place to stay when you're in Casper, Wyoming is the Come On In Hotel and Suites. This beautiful log hotel offers 5 hot tubs, 1 pool, a fitness center, and fabulous indoor atrium. Offering jacuzzi and fireplace suites, the guest rooms are comfortable and relaxing. Plus, every stay includes a delicious extended continental breakfast. Whenever you're in Casper, stay at the best place. Come On In Hotel and Suites. Come on in today. Come On In Hotel and Suites, Casper.
Today's broadcast brought to you in part by Auto Farm Chevrolet in Evanston, Wyoming, where the service department at Auto Farm Chevrolet has new hours. Now open at 7:30 a.m. Monday through Saturday. For all your automobile repair needs, choose Auto Farm Chevrolet, your community-driven dealer, 624 Front Street in Evanston. Today's broadcast also brought to you in part by Jeff Piper and Farmers Insurance, located in Evanston, where today's WCF All-Stars are brought to you by him. Whether it's home, life, auto, business, RV, or side-by-side and sled insurance, Jeff Piper in Evanston is your best bet to deliver the protection you need. First point out of the break goes to the South. Trailed by 3 coming out of it. Down by 2, Haley Anderson from Southeast hitting. She's on her way to Casper College as well to play volleyball. She'll be right here in a couple of weeks and will be majoring in pre-med. Big hit by Grace Dubé. 15-12. Dubé starred in this town for years at Natrona County. Moving on west side to Logan, Utah to play for Utah State. Served by the North is an ace. Archuleta got tripped up trying to approach the attack over by Taylor Lee. 16-12, how about this? The South in trouble. The North has found their groove. Lee, float sets it over. Bugis on the first touch. Pacheco to the outside tandem. Janae Tykert got the kill, but was helped out by Tittenser in the middle, drawing some coverage off. It was left to Ashley Steffen to try to defend it.
Taylor to serve.
But never mind, there was an over-the-line call, so the point goes back to the North, and they're still serving. 17-12 the score. Not sure if it was over the line, but it was something of that nature, maybe a net touch. DeBay hits into the net and misses, and the end does run this time, 17-13. The South trails.
Kaylee Critchfield back in for the South.
Kaylee Critchfield in for the South team, but this is 6-2 formation in set number 3. Big approach by Critchfield, and she shoots it into the net.
Gracie Dubé to serve for the North.
Dubé takes back a serve for the North side. Big power attack by her. Bugis can't handle it, sends it into the scorer's table.
Ace for Grace. She'll serve again.
Ace for Grace, says the announcer. And a 6-point advantage on the North side. Shot up by Dubé, pushed by Archuleta. Tittenzer to Archuleta. Backline push over to the North side. Lee sets up outside. Powell with the big attack. Off the arms of Pacheco. She's having trouble trying to block off of Paige Powell in this set, and a 7-point advantage opened up by the North. Keep serving Dubé. This time into the net though, so it ends 20-14. We play 5 regardless, so the North trying, even with 3 sets guaranteed, including this one, trying to make it be play for something, because they lose a 3rd set, they can't come back and win, but they take the 3rd and the 4th here. We could be setting up for an exciting 5th round. Powell with the 50-50 ball. Critchfield, a heroic save and a push over by Bugis to the North side. Out to Powell. Page terminates. 21-14 the score. And Paige Powell coming alive in set number 3. Who you heard Keith Francic say he thought was the best overall athlete in this contest, and it's hard to disagree with the future Wyoming Cowgirl. Janae Tykert returns the first shot over, and Archuleta serves, shoots it out of bounds, non-touched. This is Archuleta's only set from the outside hitter position. In the 4th set, she will play as a middle hitter again. All players for the South guaranteed 3 sets. Powell, tee off. It may be over, folks, in this 3rd set. It's 22-14, and Powell's taken over. A timeout number 2 taken out by Angela Rhodes of the South side. And this is My Local Radio exclusive coverage of the WCF All-Star Weekend.
If you're a person who enjoys comfort, affordability, and history, make sure you stay at the Best Western Dunmar Inn the next time you're in Evanston, Wyoming. In 1957, retired FBI agent Jack Dub Mills purchased the 17-unit motel referred to as the Oasis of the West that was frequented by stars like Dolly Parton and Tanya Tucker. Today, when you stay at the Best Western Dunmar Inn, you'll enjoy the history while you relax in one of the 165 ground-level rooms on 10 beautiful acres. Best Western Dunmar Inn. Reserve your rooms today, 307-789-3770.
Paige Powell wowing the crowd here at the Casper College Sweet Erickson Thunderbird Gymnasium. And she has her North side in control of this 3rd set, 23-14 on the serve. It's Hartley Thorrington. Floats it back middle to Allie Bugis onto the South side. Archuleta rolls it over, but rolls it to the left and out of bounds. It's set point number 1 for the North.
Point North. Set point.
Float over, Thorrington. Archuleta on the return, outside attack. Tittenzer's blocked again by Powell. Middle line attack into the net. It's on the South side, and the North has won set number 3. 25-14 the final. And we're still playing for something here at Casper College. Set number 4 coming our way next. In a couple of minutes from now, the South drops the 3rd after winning the first one 25-20 and the second 25-12. It's a dominating 3rd set for the North, 25-14. We'll take a look at who we have on the rosters when we come back for set number 4 on My Local Radio's exclusive coverage of the WCF All-Star Weekend on MyLocalRadio.com and on the radio in the Evanston listening area, KNYN 99.1 FM.
The best place to stay when you're in Casper, Wyoming is the Come On In Hotel and Suites. This beautiful log hotel offers 5 hot tubs, 1 pool, a fitness center, and fabulous indoor atrium. Offering jacuzzi and fireplace suites, the guest rooms are comfortable and relaxing. Plus, every stay includes a delicious extended continental breakfast. Whenever you're in Casper, stay at the best place. Come On In Hotel and Suites. Come on in today. Come On In Hotel and Suites, Casper.
For generations, gun ownership has been an important part of our heritage. At the Gun Room in Evanston, you'll find a large selection of quality firearms. Everything from personal protection handguns to hunting rifles and shotguns. With a wide selection of hunting gear, ammo, optics, and apparel, we have what you need. Ask about our 90-day layaway program. And remember, success on the range and in the field starts at the Gun Room. Call today, 307-789-2677.
Business cards are a powerful and inexpensive way to promote the goods and services you offer. You can design your own cards or have the professionals at West Star Printing design your business cards. Now with same-day and next-day turnaround on all business card printing, you don't have to wait. Get your business cards today. Professional quality, inexpensive prices, and quick turnaround. Visit West Star Printing, 243 7th Street in Evanston, across from the library. West Star Printing, 307-789-5202.
You're in good hands when you choose Dr. Stosage and Dr. Buick at Wyoming Dental Specialties for dental implants and wisdom tooth extractions. They work with passion and focus. They use techniques and technologies that are modern and precise. With 2 decades of experience, their skills are highly specialized. If you need teeth extractions or dental implants placed, come see Dr. Stosage or Dr. Buick at Wyoming Dental Specialties, 50 Park Road, or call us at 307-789-9034.
This fourth set is brought to you by the Wyoming School Board Association. I'd like to thank them for their continued support of the Wyoming Coaches Foundation All-Star Weekend. And today's broadcast is also brought to you in part by Yeager's Automotive. Welcome on a brand new sponsor at mylocalradio.com, and appreciate them joining us for these All-Star games. And let you know that today's All-Star athletes are here because they're the best Wyoming has to offer. But the next time you have car troubles, you want to go see the best of the best at Yeager's Auto Body in Green River. Just give Justin and the gang a call at 307-875-2448. That's Yeager's Auto Body in Green River. Set number 4 has the south side playing to the right side of the net and the north on the left side. Micah Rogers returns as the libero on the north side. We will have... We'll take a look down the line. Grace Dubé is serving for the north side to start things off. Ellie Olson in as a middle blocker, but on the bench right now. Paige Powell stays in as an outside hitter. Alexa Caballero in as a right side. Hartley Thornton as the other middle. And we have Taylor Lee as the setter. First point goes south side's way as Hayden Rhodes returns as an outside hitter. Cassidy Nelson in to serve. She's in back as a middle blocker, I believe. Let's see. No, Cassidy's getting that hit from the outside, and she's playing as an outside hitter this for her third set. Line drive served by Nelson. Diving play made by Rogers to keep it in line. Hartley Thornton whiffs on it, and it's point to the south. On to the south side rosters as we see them. And of course, Allie Bugis as the libero in the pink jersey. I almost said Harley. Hayden Rhodes is the outside hitter along with Cassidy Nelson. Olivia Pacheco in as one of the 2 setters. Again, a 6-2 formation, so both setters will see action. Katie Banks for back. We haven't seen her since the first set. She'll play the 4th and the 5th, both brought to you by the Wyoming School Board Association. And this set so far going all South's way, 3-0. Back to the serve again. Ajahana Archuleta on the bench, but also playing in this 4th set. This her final set, unless she gets any time unforeseen in the 5th. Nelson serves over to Rogers. Set up by Lee to Powell, tied on the net, tries to go left-handed, gets blocked by Banks, and point to the south again. Nelson serving. And serves it into the net. Good serving run by Cassidy Nelson, though, got the opening kill and gets the next 3 points. 4-1 the score. And the set count is 2-1 in favor of the South. The North taking the third, 25-14. Hartley Thornton for the north side, serving long, drops in for Bugis to grab it up. Rhodes sets up to Banks. What a termination by Katie Banks, playing her last game of competitive volleyball. She's just going to college. Will not continue, as a lot of these athletes will. Katie had some opportunities to go do so, but opted to focus on studies instead. Micah Rogers to Lee, out to the middle. Powell with the big attack. She was the star of set number 3 and gets point number 2 of the 4th set. Stenerson setting to check in and serve for Caballero out of Warland. Alexa Caballero is going to go into nursing at UW. Hit by Olivia Muir. She's been out for a little while as well. Blocked up. Pacheco attacks from the right side, and it's out of bounds. Point back to the North.
Stenerson to serve.
Aubrey Stenerson playing basketball at Northwest College out of that hometown of Powell. Hayden Rhodes sets up to Muir. Line attack picked up by Stenerson. Outside Powell, also a future basketball athlete. Get a couple of those who always end up playing this volleyball match because they're not going to get to play basketball again, or not going to get to play volleyball again. They're going on to basketball. Point back to the North has us tied again, 5-4 the score. Aubrey Stenerson scoring and serving. Jump set, serve over. Archuleta pushes it over on a dump attempt from the middle. Outside down the line, Powell hits it and attacks and has tied it back up. See if she can be the star of this fourth set as well. The star of the first set, clearly Olivia Pacheco, and Katie Banks in there as well. Third set clearly belonged to Powell for the north side. Stenerson serving on to Muir. Hayden Rhodes to the middle. Archuleta taps it over with the left hand. Tied on the net and hit her in the face, but kept it going. Cassidy Nelson tried to get a save, but it ultimately goes to the point for the North thanks to Ellie Olsen. Stenerson serving. North is up. Floats it over to Nelson. Almost went with the push. Rearranged. Got it to Muir. She missed a bit on it, but it was a sharp cross down, and we're at 6-6. Olivia Muir was a late signee in the late spring for Casper College volleyball. Line drive by Pacheco. High bump from Dubé. Powell tips it off the block. Tooled it right off of Olivia Muir, and North is back on top thanks to Powell. Puts Paige Powell to the back line, but Grace Dubé from Natrona County up into the front line. Pacheco back sets. Muir winds up and misses out. Stephanie Birch getting into it for the north side, watching her team try to climb back into the contest. 2-point advantage for the north side with Powell serving. Powell floats it this time onto the back left side. Rhodes goes up for a first opportunity, but Ellie Olsen out of the middle rejects it and sends it right back down. 9-6 for the North. Powell serving again, a third straight time. See the girls on the sideline on the basketball side. Max Mills out of Shoshone, setting to join Michelle Dahlberg for that all-star game out of the North. Cross-court attack, Rhodes misses. Timeout taken by the South, and it's 10-6 in favor of the North. Back in 30 seconds on this exclusive coverage of the WCF All-Star Games on MyLocalRadio.com.
Do you really?
Student success is attributed to many different factors. Parents, teachers, and coaches are some we think of first. The fact is, the list goes much deeper. School administrators help teachers be their best. School boards help administrators set and achieve the goals of the community. The Wyoming School Board Association serves school districts with education, information, and networking. The WSBA has served Wyoming schools since 1945. WSBA, empowering student achievement through school district leadership.
Fourth set brought to you by the Wyoming School Board Association as we welcome you back to set number 4 here. 10-6, the North on top of the South. The South ran away with it. I think in part Taylor Lee's addition as a setter for Sheridan has changed things around. The North is getting those attacks and allowing Paige Powell out of Cody to absolutely take over the contest as of the moment. An ace serve on cue by Paige Powell out of the break has the North on top, 11-6.
Ace for Paige for the North.
Thank all of our sponsors today. Bear Lake Convention and Visitors Center, Jeff Piper Farmers Insurance in Evanston, Cache Valley Visitors Bureau, Wyoming School Board Association, come on in, Yeager's Auto Body, and of course Auto Farm Chevrolet out of Evanston, which has a new service department open 7:30 a.m. Monday through Friday for all of your automobile repair needs. Choose Auto Farm Chevrolet, your community-driven dealer at 624 Front Street in Evanston, Wyoming. The South gets a point back to make it 11-7, and Olivia Muir sets up for the serve over. Stenderson on the first touch up. Olsen taps the tape onto the South side. Try it to Casty Nelson. The cross-court attack is too far and out. This is the last set for a few of these players. Of course, anything could happen technically in that fifth, but everyone gets to play 3, so I think for Angela Rhodes out of the South Side coaching staff, these are set in stone. Hayden Rhodes will go back to being a libero in the 5th set. Rhodes tips it over, playing outside here onto the North. Taylor Lee dumps that over, tries to find the donut hole. Quick reactions by Archuleta, taps it for a kill. 12-8, back-to-back points for the South Side. Take a look at that 5th set. Also brought to you by Wyoming School Board Association. The middle hitters will be Leona Tykert and Katie Banks. Haley Anderson and Janae Tykert at the outside. Right side's Ashlyn Titzer and Allie Bugis will be a right side DS. They're 5-1, so no libero, it looks like, in this 5th set if it gets, well, we'll get there. Out of bounds, and the South gets a point back on a too-far hit by Thorington. 12-9 for Aja Hannah Archuleta to serve for the South Side. Moving on to Western Wyoming Community College to play volleyball and walk on to the basketball program as well. Lee sets up 10-foot line attack by Dubé, pushed over the net by Archuleta. Lee shoots it deep corner to Archuleta. Sets to Pacheco. Outside, Nelson through 2 blockers. Diving save made by Rogers. Push up, Pacheco backside, and it's Rhodes. Keep the rally going. Thorington bumps it up. Taylor Lee, the setter, pushes it on a 3rd attack. Archuleta to Pacheco. Pinball it around and keep it going. Lee to the outside, Dubé to end it. Through 2 blockers, just tipped and stays up. South side bumps it over. Casty Nelson on the play. To the outside, a shoot. Dubé over the line, and a danger goes to the South. Crawling back in it. Getting a round of applause for that rally. That was the longest, I would have to say, time-wise and times over of the contest. Lee back sets to Dubé, ready to hit again, and a kill. Dubé had a few opportunities to terminate that last point, so making quick work of it. On the serve received this time, Alexa Caballero replaces Aubrey Stenderson.
Caballero checks in for the North. Taylor Lee to serve.
Taylor Lee sends it over. Big attack by Dubé, but handled by the South Side. Katie Banks floats it on a behind-the-back bump over. Hartley Thorington, no, it's Micah Rogers with the push-up. On to Bugis, jumps at Pacheco. Banks down on the block, and the point to the South. Make it 13-11. Great play in that back line by Micah Rogers for the North Side. She's headed to go here as well. Casper College, she wants to be in ag communications. Right side attack, cross quarter by Dubé, picked up. That one by Rhodes. Heavy hit by Casty Nelson, but it goes into the net. And a point back to the North Side. Serve goes to Dubé. She'll be going into physical therapy at Utah State. Serves it long and out. 2-point differential, 14-12 the score. Casty Nelson. Undecided at Casper College. All she does know for sure, she wants to play volleyball a little bit more. Paige Powell sets up from outside the 10-foot line and still gets a top on the ball to shoot it down. 15-12 the score in favor of the North. Fourth set brought to you by the Wyoming School Board Association. Rhodes is blocked by Ellie Olsen, but it's called that she went over the little plane of the net, so the point back to the South. Puts them one closer. They're down by 2. Archuleta checks in for the South in the front line as a middle hitter. Casty Nelson the outside. No, Olivia Muir is. 2 Ellie Olsen for the North, blocked. And the point to the South, it's a 1-point differential. The set count is 2-1. We have a 5th set regardless, but the North trying to stay alive with hopes of winning it. Great float serve by Bugis. Picked up by Powell to the right side. Caballero winds back. Rhodes with a perfect pass to Pacheco. She dump sets it deep. Taylor Lee there. Shoot up by DeBay and a bump over. Ellie Olsen to the south side. It's Rhodes to the middle. Archuleta with an attack, partially blocked. Onto the north side. Powell backs up on the set from Lee. Cross court to the middle. Cassidy Nelson with the first touch. Shoot from the far right side to the far left. And Olivia Muir hits it, wants a touch. And Bill Thompson down there on the line judge obliges for the touch. We are knotted up.
Ties it at 15.
15 to 15. On the board, the South has climbed back. Down by 3 straight points. Bucas with the serve over to Rogers. At the middle, it's Lee to Powell to terminate. A great save on the dive by Bucas, and what a pass as well. Down the line for Muir. It's inbounds, and Angela Rhodes ecstatic. Stephanie Burt shaking her head and saying, no way. The South on a 4-point run. Letting it ride for the moment is Coach Birch for the North. Up by 1, and now tied again as the South, as it's shot out of bounds on the serve. Aubrey Stenerson checks in for Caballero.
Stenerson checks in. Aubrey to serve.
Aubrey Stenerson staying in town in Powell to play basketball and wants to be a physical education major. Rhodes with a high setup and into the net. Aja got caught in it. Point back to the North, and the North leads.
Point North, south from the net. Stenerson will serve.
Hayden Rhodes can play any position. She's been doing a lot of setting this set in the 6-2 formation. And right side attack by Olsen is out, and the point to the North. So to date, she's played outside, she's played setter, she's played libero.
Pacheco to serve.
17 all on the board. Line drive over to the North. Stenerson, who gets it up. Powell to the right side, tips it. Nelson on the defense. Pacheco to Muir. Cross court, no, keeps it line. And the rule is out of bounds, back to the North on a 1-point advantage.
Point North, Powell to serve.
Powell floats it over to Nelson. Pacheco, high bump set. 10-foot line attack. Rhodes is blocked, and blocked inbounds.
Ellie Olsen, we still block at the net.
Ellie Olsen called for the block. Gives the North the 2-point advantage. And a service ace by Powell. A timeout taken, the second by the South. And they trail by 3, 20-17 North over South in the 4th set on this exclusive Wyoming Coaches Foundation All-Star coverage on mylocalradio.com.
Student success is attributed to many different factors. Parents, teachers, and coaches are some we think of first. The fact is, the list goes much deeper. School administrators help teachers be their best. School boards help administrators set and achieve the goals of the community. The Wyoming School Board Association serves school districts with education, information, and networking. The WSBA has served Wyoming schools since 1945. WSBA, empowering student achievement through school district leadership.
4th set here and closing points of it. Paige Powell with the serve for the North Volleyball All-Stars out of northern half of Wyoming. In the white jerseys, left side of the net to the south and the left on the right side of the net. Right side attack, Olivia Muir keeps it inbounds, toes that antenna line. DeBay tries to do the same, but is blocked by Archuleta. And a point right out of the timeout break for the South to pull them within 2 points. The South leads 2-1, dominated set 1 and 2. The North dominated the third, and this one, our first tight game late in the points. Muir on the serve up. Over and in. Right side, Ellie Olsen out of bounds. We're back to a 1-point differential.
Olivia Muir to serve.
Ellie Olsen had the stuff block that led to the timeout. Shooting it out this time. Heading on to LCCC, a 4-time All-State soccer player for Buffalo. Middle attack by Archuleta. Bounced off the blocking hands to DeBay for the North side. She goes through a couple of blockers, keeps it inbounds by a hair. 21-19, North leads it.
DeBay gets the kill, assisted by Lee after it was dug out by Stenerson.
Ellie Olson checks out for the north side. Micah Rogers on the serve over to the back right. Olivia Muir with the touch up to Pacheco. Cassie Nelson, sharp cross, picked up Rogers. Onto the north, the hit by DeBay. Bounces off a couple of blockers. Pacheco makes the save. Set by Rhodes. Big hit. Nelson in front of Paige Powell for the kill. We're back to 1 point. Cassie Nelson, part of the 36-0 Lyman squad, which won the 3A state title after dropping down 2-0 to her current setter, Olivia Pacheco's Rollins team. Service air by Ajahana, 22-20. Archuletta's out, perhaps, depending on how the rotations go. For the last time today, she is not slated to play in the 5th set. Floating serve over from the north side's Taylor Lee. Tandem attack, left-handed push by Katie Banks. Cassie Nelson was attacking from the middle, Banks from the left side, drawing the block off, and then Banks goes left hand for good measure. 1 point differential. Katie Banks' family sitting just a few rows down and to the right of me. Grace DeBay with the bump over to Rogers that cannot get over the net. We are knotted up, folks. 22 all in set number 4. 3 points is needed, but a timeout taken by Coach Stephanie Birch and her North squad. We'll take it with them. And we'll return shortly. 22 all on this MyLocalRadio.com exclusive coverage of the WCF All-Star Weekend in 2019.
In addition to local information and the best live coverage of local sports, you can stream music 24/7 at mylocalradio.com. Log on and choose the music you like best. Classic or modern country, indie, adult contemporary, or classic rock. Stream it live through your computer or cell phone. Listen to the music you want and don't miss the information you need. Like us on Facebook and visit mylocalradio.com today.
22-22 in set number 4 as we welcome you back to the 4th set, brought to you by Wyoming School Board Association, where an ace out of the break by Hayden Rhodes of the South team has given her side the 1 point advantage. 2 to a win for the South, 3 for the North. Jump serve over by Rhodes. Heard Keith Francis on his level of impressiveness on the serve by Rhodes. A return attack by Grace DeBay ties it back up. Enjoyed Keith coming up to join us and give some color and that color play-by-play for the second set. Grace DeBay shoots it over to Muir, back middle. Rhodes at the set. Banks, no chance. And that's how Katie Banks made it for Green River for all 4 years at the varsity level. You get her attacking out of the middle. She gets so high and attacks with such a downward trajectory that there's really very little chance for either side to do anything about it. Usually when Katie gets a hold of the ball, that's it. Take a look again. We do not know who's going to play assuredly in the 5th set because Coach Birch left it up for options and up to be changed. There may be substitutions in the 5th set for the South side. Angela Rhodes put a little marker on that 5th set rotation, says everyone be ready as we may use subs this set. But as it's set up, Hayden Rhodes will go back to play libero in the 5th set. Leona Tykert and Katie Banks will be the middle hitters. Haley Anderson and Janae Tykert will be the outsides. Ashlyn Tittenser and Allie Bugis will be a DS right side. I think they're going to put Allie up in the front line. And Kaylee Critchfield will be the lone setter. Cassie Nelson with the serve over, and it's set point number 1 for the South in a game clincher. Onto the South side, Bugis bumps it up to Pacheco. She hits, is blocked. Nelson over the net, a tip over by Banks. Onto the north side, Powell winds up, finds the line, and it's back to Deuce. 24-24 on the board. Paige Powell keeping the North's hopes of a win alive. A 5th set coming up regardless, but they want to go in with something to still play for. Rhodes to the back set. It's Banks from Green River shooting it out of bounds, and it's that set point number 1 for the North. Flip it around. Hartley Thorington on the serve. Sends it. Not over. Back to Deuce. 25s all around. And Archuleta does get back in as we ran through enough rotations, the 3 necessary to get her back up into the game. Her last set slated. Paige Powell is blocked by Olivia Muir. We're all knotted at 25 apiece. Ellie Olsen from the outside, back returned on the south side by Nelson. The attack from the south is by Muir. Push up from Rogers onto the north. Give it to Paige Powell. Out of bounds. Wait on a touch rule. There's nothing called. And the set point number 2 is for the south side. Allie Bugas from Mountain View serving. Rogers with the first touch. Out and blocked. Ellie Olsen nearly had the ender. Caballero bumps it over to Bugas in the back middle. Rhodes sets up to the outside. Muir to end it off 2 blockers. DeBay hits it. Ellie Olsen sends it over to the south. Middle attack is whiffed by Archuleta. And a 4 hits called. 26-26 on the Impact Physical Therapy board. And Aubrey Stenerson comes in for the North to serve. Floats it. Muir, return over. Good setup for the North. They go to Powell from Lee. She's off a couple of blockers. Dug out. It's still in play. Hayden Rhodes to Muir on a dump set, but it's blocked out of bounds. And Ellie Olsen can't keep it in. She's wincing after her arm nearly kept it in, but it's 27-26, and it's set point number 3 for the South. Pacheco serves a great one. DeBay on the second, and Paige Powell bumps it over, but the South has the attacking opportunity to Olivia Muir. Out of bounds and no touch. Back to Deuce. 27s all the way around, and this a 4th set playing like a state championship clincher at the moment. Paige Powell with the serve. Puts DeBay in the front line for the North. Pacheco to Hayden Rhodes. Finds a donut hole at 5'2". Hayden Rhodes playing her last points ever perhaps as an outside hitter at a competitive level. She'll be a libero at Black Hill State, showing how as Douglas as an outside for all those years, she was so effective and an all-state athlete. Olivia Muir to Paige Powell on the serve over. We're at set point number 4 for the South. Floated on the donut hole onto the south side. Pacheco to Rhodes, trying to end it, and she does off the hands of Ellie Olsen. 29-27. Give player of the set to Hayden Rhodes in number 4. And we're on to the 5th as the South has clinched a victory. They're up 3-1, but set number 5 will be played regardless. 29-27. And set number 5 coming up momentarily. A standing ovation from the crowd as the South has clinched it, but not without a 29-27 necessary amount of points being scored. 56 in all in the set. Back in 2.5 for the final set on this exclusive coverage of the WCF All-Star Games on MyLocalRadio.com.
When you run a farm or ranch, you understand how important water is when it comes to your animals. Not only does it matter for the overall health of your animals, but it directly ties to your bottom line. Ellingford Brothers sells cement water troughs and custom-built critter ladders, culverts, head gates, and septic tanks. See how Ellingford Brothers can help you with water options for your farm or ranch. Call today, 307-789-1515. That's 789-1515.
Receive the best service in the industry when you lease or purchase office equipment from the professional, friendly staff at Mountain West Business Solutions. With a guaranteed quick turnaround time, we will save you money, time, and energy with quality products and customer service that is unmatched in the industry. Serving customers in Wyoming and Utah, Mountain West Business Solutions is a local company with a toll-free number, 866-583-9925. Call us today.
Hello, this is Dr. McKay Frankham. As a dentist in Evanston for over 20 years now, my mission has always been to provide quality dental care for people of all ages at reasonable prices. I'm a detail-oriented person, and it's important to me to stay current on new dental procedures and protocols that can help my patients have the best experience and have the best results. Over the years, I've also worked to keep my overhead low so that I can pass those savings on to my patients. I believe everyone deserves quality dental care. Please call us today at 307-789-8910.
Serving Wyoming since 1941, Plains Tire is Wyoming's oldest and largest tire dealer with great locations throughout the state. They'll get you the right tires that offer the best results for your vehicle at the lowest prices, guaranteed. Plus, you can go to any Plains Tire Pro dealer with their nationwide warranty service. And check out their Plains Tire phone app.
Come down and see us at Plains Tires on 157 Bear River Drive for all your automotive needs. Hablamos también español.
Set number 5 coming your way, and man, after a fourth set ends like that, South they've secured their victory, but wow. Let's see what the North has to offer in this 5th set. They deserve to get another opportunity. They got a lot of headlines for Paige Powell, but a team effort. Ellie Olson gave up the block attempt and gave up 2 of them in those final points, but she had a heck of a set as well, keeping that team for the North side in it and on top for a lot of those points. We've seen a lot of great athletes today. Let's run through them one more time and congratulate all these girls, these 24 who have been selected and have come to perform and done just that in this WCF 2019 All-Star Volleyball match. First for the North, Paige Powell, Grace DeBay, Lauren Stevenson, Ellie Olson, Hartley Thorrington, Alexa Caballero, Ashley Steffen, Aubrey Stenerson, Grace Trandle, Taylor Lee, and Micah Rogers, as well as Kristen Clausen. And then for the South side, Olivia Muir, Hayden Rhodes, Haley Anderson, Janae Tykert, Katie Banks, Cassidy Nelson, Aja Hanna Archuleta, Ashlyn Tittenser, Leona Tykert, Kaylee Critchfield, Olivia Pacheco, and Allie Bugas. Right now, the South side is setting up to take the serve, and it's Kaylee Critchfield. Just before that, Angela Rhodes was giving some instruction to her daughter, Hayden Rhodes, playing libero in this final set, and someone coming out to take a picture. Those two have been together for so long now, moving their separate ways. Angela staying in Douglas, of course, as the coach, and Hayden going on to play at Black Hills State University. She told me earlier this week, I'll always be her coach, and coaching her in life is her mom, but unfortunately the road has come to an end after this weekend in the volleyball realm as the coaching and student of the game. 1-0, the first point goes to the South. They played a 15 in this 5th set. Kaylee Critchfield back in out of Evanston, going on to Northwest College in Powell to play volleyball. And she said, I will be an elementary education major for now. For now. And I asked, why, you just don't know if you like kids or not? She said, no, I do. And I said, don't know if you like them that much? I don't know. But she's an elementary education major for now, she says. 2-0, and Critchfield to serve a 3rd time. Make it an ace off of Grace DeBay. And hey, a feather in your cap going on to play at the next level for Kaylee Critchfield to get a kill and an ace off of Grace DeBay, a future libero at the D1 level. 3-0 for the South. And Critchfield continues to serve. This time targets Paige Powell, another near ace. See if they can get it over on the 3rd. It just avoids hitting the top rafters. Critchfield with the quick set, out of bounds. Leona Tykert wanted a touch, but none to be seen. It's 3-1. Hold up a second. I think you got to switch that one out. That's not a good look there. Bill Thompson, her coach, giving her the touch late. I'm sure it's all in the up and up, but a little weird on the delay there. Floating serve by Kaylee Critchfield to the outside, and a shot up by Steffen to the South. Bump over, Ashlyn Tittenser back into this 5th set. As we get a flip over, Grace DeBay to Kaylee Critchfield onto the South side. Bump set from Rhodes to Janae Tykert. Send over, Taylor Lee continues to set in this 5th, at least for now, to the right side. Tittenser out of bounds. And the first point finally goes the North's way. 4-1.
DeBay to serve for the North.
5th set brought to you by the Wyoming School Board Association. Appreciate their continued sponsorship for the All-Star Games. Outside attack, Tittenser is out of bounds again. Back-to-back misses by Ashlyn. Multi-year starter and an important cog as a right side hitter for that Laramie squad that's won a couple of region titles. Critchfield back sets to Janae Tykert. Responded by the North side to Powell. Big hit, pushed up, blocked. Powell keeps it in play. To the middle, Hartley Thorrington with a kill. Sent Haley Anderson down to the ground, 4-3. 5th set brought to you by the Wyoming School Board Association. Grace Dubé on the serve for the North, down by 1 point in this abbreviated final set. Critchfield sets to the middle. Tykert loves it and responds with a big 2-set and attack down the middle of a couple of blockers.
Janae Tykert to serve.
Janae Tykert serving for the South, up by 2. Paige Powell with the first touch up and the attack for Powell. She took that and dunked it like a basketball. Down for the kill, 5-4 the score. Been told Paige Powell can dunk a basketball. Won't get to see that today, though. She opted for volleyball over basketball in these all-star games. See her in the future, though, at the University of Wyoming. She's joined the Cowgirls program, along with McKinley Bradshaw out of Lyman. Also joining as a Casper native that maybe doesn't get the notoriety of those two, but, you know, she was there. That's just because she's not coming straight out of high school. Out of Casper College, Jay Johnson, a Natrona County graduate 2 years ago, is also joined that class with McKinley Bradshaw and Paige Powell as 3 Wyoming girls joining the Cowgirls program for the next season. Set up high from Steveson, and it goes over the net and dropped down by Leona Tykert to make it 5-5 on the board. And 6-5 for the South. Leona Tykert out after the kill. Katie Banks in for a 5th set. High jump set by Hayden Rhodes. Nailed it on a dime, too. Return up from Rhodes to the South. A middle attack. Quick set from Kaylee Critchfield to Katie Banks. And those two look like they've been playing together for years on that play. 7-5.
Point South, Rhodes will serve.
Watch this again. Hayden Rhodes. High degree of difficulty on this serve. Throws it way up and just hammers it down with that quick downward spin. Left-handed attack by Steffen. Critchfield, back set. Goes to Tittenser, cross quarter on a sharp. Steveson picks it up, a flip over. Ellie Olsen with the attack over. On the south side, Haley Anderson just missed on it, and it's 7-6. Sad to see that serve go for Hayden Rhodes. Fun one to watch. We got to see a couple of times in a row.
Paige Powell, just check that. Stennerson checks in. She'll serve for the North.
Aubrey Stennerson checks in for Steveson. For Steffen, rather. And a serve out of bounds by Stennerson. Gives the point to the South. 8-6 the score.
Tittenser to serve. Check that.
Ashlyn Tittenser was going to serve, but they put Allie Bugis in. DS this time around. Playing opposite of Tittenser and getting the serve. Floats it out.
Serve is out, point North.
8-7 the score.
Powell to serve.
Shot up high and over the net. The South can't handle the Grace DeBay tap down. Back knotted up, 8-8 on the board.
We are tied at 8. Powell to serve.
Again, going to 15, and the 4th set was a great one. Looking for the same in the 5th. High setup, and Critchfield's a bit off, but an antenna touch will negate the kill by Katie Banks and give the point to the South.
Point North. Powell to serve.
Line drive serve by Paige Powell. Picked up by the North. Haley Anderson gets a hold of one from the right side. Cross courts it. DeBay tries the same thing, but goes line through a couple of blockers for the point. 9-9 on the scoreboard, and make it 10-8 rather than North on top by 2. Timeout taken. We'll be back in 30 on this My Local Radio's coverage of the 2019 WCF All-Star Games.
You're in good hands when you choose Dr. Stosage and Dr. Buick at Wyoming Dental Specialties for dental implants and wisdom tooth extractions. They work with passion and focus. They use techniques and technologies that are modern and precise. With 2 decades of experience, their skills are highly specialized. If you need teeth extractions or dental implants placed, come see Dr. Stosage or Dr. Buick at Wyoming Dental Specialties, 50 Park Road, or call us at 307-789-9034.
Tight one, but the North holds a 2-point advantage in this. The final set brought to you by Wyoming School Board Association. The 5th set has the North leading 10-8, and Paige Powell from Cody, soon to be from Laramie and the University of Wyoming on the serve. Back middle, Hayden Rhodes with the return. A one-handed punch over by Critchfield leads to a tee-off by Grace DeBay for the point, 11-8. See if we can grab someone right after this game before we close out our volleyball broadcast, and be sure to switch on over to the girls basketball broadcast on mylocalradio.com. We'll begin about the time this one ends. Middle attack from the back line. Allie Bugis with the kill. The 5'4" libero from Mountain View gets the big attack in the back and goes up for the point to make it 11-9. On to the North. DeBay from about 8 feet back. Rhodes with a high return and a perfect pass to Critchfield. Sets up Janae Tykert. Blocked, though. Still on the south. Critchfield this time to the middle. Katie Banks flips it. And it's returned by Taylor Lee. A cross, sharp shot on the left-handed Statue of Liberty play by Grace DeBay. Gives the North a 12-9 lead.
Thorrington checks in for the North.
Thorrington checks in for the North side. Ellie Olson is out, and Micah Rogers back serving. Outside, and Janae Tykert goes off a blocker, and Thorrington for the point. South still down by 2. Leona Tykert, Janae's cousin, also of Cokeville and also of those 1A state champs. Got the best of HEM in back-to-back sets. 10-foot line attack from DeBay, picked up by Katie Banks. Tykert from about the same spot as DeBay gets blocked. Back to the south. A third bump over by Bugis. The South is already guaranteed a win, but the North trying to save face and get a 5th set win to keep it at 3-2. A shot into the net puts us at 13-10 as Janae Tykert hit it in. Katie Banks gets high fives as she goes to the bench for the South, as does Aubrey Stenerson for the North. Both those players may be checking out for that last time. Taylor Lee back middle, picked up by Anderson, but returned over the net and touched down by Hartley Thorrington.
Point south, right to the net.
They give the, point to the south. It was net touching on Thorrington. Kaylee Critchfield started off the set with 3 straight points and gets the serve here late in the contest. Another tough serve by Critchfield, bumped over, sets up the south well. Need a good set, goes to the back. Tittenser hits it high and out.
Point north. Grace DeBay serve. Set point.
Set point number 1 for Grace DeBay out of Natrona County. For the North side, hitting from the left to the right. Critchfield hits up high to Tittenser, tips it over 2 blockers. A heroic play by Lee, but not to be, as they can't get it over on a DeBay slap. Set point number 2, 14-12 on the board.
Janae Tykert to serve.
Janae Tykert from Cokeville serving. Liner to Paige Powell. She wants the attack to end it. Goes up high, off the blockers, and the South may come away with the 3-set victory, but Paige Powell closes it out with emphatic fashion with the big attack. 15-12, the North wins the final set. We'll take a break, see if we can get a little post-game coverage here next on this MyLocalRadio.com exclusive of the Wyoming Coaches Foundation All-Star Games of 2019. Again, only on MyLocalRadio.com.
Superior Rental is Evanston's only full-service rental equipment store. We have what you need to get the job done. Backhoes, trenchers, excavators, air compressors, jackhammers, concrete tools, hammer drills, aerators, tillers, power rakes, forklifts, log splitters, tables and chairs, popcorn, snow cone, and cotton candy machines. All right, you get the picture. You don't have to own when you can rent from Superior Rental, 371 Prospector Drive in Evanston.
Members of Trona Valley Federal Credit Union feel confident that our staff has your best interest in mind, confident that we acknowledge your financial needs, confident that we are always working hard to provide the best rates, best products, and the best service the industry can offer, and confident that we will always work with you to help achieve your financial goals. Join Trona Valley Federal Credit Union today. TronaValley.com, member NCUA.
Education in Wyoming has been a long-held tradition. The communities that make up Uinta County School District number 1 are committed to those traditions. Student learning, teacher and staff development, extracurricular activities for students to choose from, quality facilities that are clean and comfortable, and a transportation department that always goes above and beyond are just some of the ways we work as a community to help students succeed. Uinta County School District number 1, Pathway to Excellence.
Light up your world with a custom-built LED sign from Rocky Mountain Sign in Evanston. It's a proven fact that signage that lights up creates more attention. So light it up and then add text, images, and video, and your sign becomes even more powerful. Start sharing your advertising messages and information with your customers today. The team at Rocky Mountain Sign provides all types of quality signage that is custom-built and maintained. Call today for a free quote. Rocky Mountain Sign, 307-789-5202. Rocky Mountain Sign, serving customers in Wyoming, Utah, and Idaho.
See everything getting taken down in short fashion for the volleyball contest. The girls basketball will follow in about 10 to 12 minutes from now. We hope to be joined by Paige Powell here shortly as we'll run you through the games where the South ended up victorious 3-2, but the North came away with an emphatic 5th set win, and what a great 4th set we had, 29-27 the final. The South took the first set, 25-20, and that was Olivia Pacheco and Katie Banks' set. On to set number 2, 25-12. That was the South all the way. In set number 3, Paige Powell really came up with a dominating performance, so a 25-14 win for the North over the South. And then on to the 4th set. What a game. What an overall performance by all these young ladies. 29-27. Hard to single out anyone in that contest. In the 5th set, final kill by Paige Powell gave the North a final set victory despite losing 3-2. So we'll take one last break and then be joined by Paige Powell shortly on this WCF exclusive on mylocalradio.com.
The steel fabrication shop at Ellingford Brothers is available for large and small projects alike. We work with individuals. The public is always welcome. And contractors. We design and build one-of-a-kind projects, plus we fabricate loose parts and heavy equipment. And customize Ford and Dodge pickup truck front bumpers, plus equipment, including hitches, trailers, and more. Serving customers since 1936, Ellingford Brothers is reliable, honest, and offers competitive pricing. Call today, 307-789-1515.
There's an easy way to get a 10-day free pass to Flex Fitness. Log on to the Evanston sports pages at mylocalradio.com and click on the Flex Fitness logo. This is Mike Gatewood, co-owner of Flex Fitness in Evanston. When you click on the Flex Fitness logo displayed on the Evanston sports pages at mylocalradio.com, we'll give you a 10-day free pass to work out here at Flex Fitness. Log on right now and get your 10-day free pass to Flex Fitness. Click on Flex Fitness on the Evanston sports pages at mylocalradio.com and come check us out.
There is no job too small or too big. You'll find what you need at the Lumberyard in Evanston. We carry over 25,000 products under one roof. If we don't have it, we can order everything you need to finish every project, large or small. The Lumberyard also delivers. Make sure you always check the Lumberyard first. Excellent prices, great customer service, and quality products. Now you can even shop online at thelumberyard.com. The Lumberyard, 400 Front Street in Evanston.
For over 10 years, the professional and friendly staff at Mountain West Business Solutions has been serving customers in Wyoming and Utah. Our professional technicians live and work in communities across both states. This way, we are able to provide quick, quality service to all of our customers. We serve businesses in all sizes, and we also provide service and supplies for HP printers. Please call us today and let's see how we can help with all your printing and copying needs. Mountain West Business Solutions, a local company with a toll-free number, 866-583-9925.
Joined post-game by Paige Powell of the North team. Ultimately, the South came away with that 3-2 victory, but that 4th set going 29-27. How was that to be a part of?
That was just fun. It was just super, super fun, just battling back and forth like that. Intensity was very there. The crowd was in it, and so it was just fun.
Looks like you and your team and all those players out there, you guys had a ton of fun this whole week. I want to ask you, was it kind of a whirlwind season for you, going from encampment to Cody, and then now you're getting ready to go off to Laramie? What was that switch like, and kind of maybe seeing a lot of new players that final year?
My volleyball team definitely made the transition a lot easier. Having those girls there and knowing them before school started, it was awesome being able to have that team connection and kind of know some of those girls beforehand.
It looks like Is that Charity Harmon?
Yes, it is.
That's Charity Harmon.
One of our lunch breaks, she totally dropped a beat. It was so fun.
I didn't know Charity could beatbox.
She's really good at it. It's impressive.
You know, so you knew this going in.
Okay, I didn't know till this week, but like during lunches and stuff, we grabbed all the mics from the cafeteria, and she did it for everybody. It was so fun.
That was, wow. Someone asked me, anyone I don't know about out of the Valley. I was like, yeah, you got him. Charity Harmon, beatboxer.
There you go.
I don't know if you can major in that in college. Yeah. Let's get back to the game, Paige. Fifth set, you guys look like, I think it's all fun, so it's exhibition, but you guys look like you had something to prove in that fifth set to come out and get that in another tight one.
Yeah, that's what we said. We're like, all right, guys, like we got nothing to lose on this one. Just go out, have fun, play the way we know we can. And that kind of took a little stress off some of our players, and we just played together. It was the last set, right? You gotta go give it all. So.
Going on to the University of Wyoming, how do you feel about what you've seen? Obviously, you have a future teammate on the court.
Yep.
And then Jay Johnson from Casper College will be joining the program as well. So 3 Wyoming girls joining the Wyoming Cowgirls. Got a new coach, too, and Coach Matson.
Yep.
How do you feel about all that going in?
I am super stoked. Just the support that the state has for those in-state players. I think we're going to have some really, really fun crowds. And I think that I've talked with Jay. We got to go to our official visits together. So she's a complete baller. McKinley Bradshaw is super strong. So I'm really looking forward to them. They're great girls, so it's going to be a really fun season.
What are you looking to work on in your game as you now shift over to all basketball?
So I've been getting in the gym quite a bit, being able to playing pickup games with some guys, trying to get experience against some of those faster and quicker players. But I gotta bring my game outside a little bit. In high school, kind of being packed in the post. I'm not a big anymore in the college game, so I'm gonna definitely have to work on the three and my finish at the rim.
Well, Paige, I can't say I've ever seen you until your senior year because I did 4A stuff, but it's fun to watch you volleyball and basketball.
Thank you.
We'll be watching on the Wyoming Cowgirls as well. Paige Powell out of Cody and the North All-Stars joining us post game here, and that will close us out here on this Wyoming Coaches Foundation All-Star Games. Thank you to everyone. We'll be moving on to the girls' game next. That's already going on another stream, so join Ryan Steinecker right over there. But that's it for this volleyball contest. Thank you so much. I'm Jake Hibbard, and I'll see you back in a little bit as we get ready for the boys' All-Star Game following this girls' one. Ryan Steinecker on the call, and the stream is going. I'm looking at him right now. It's all up and ready. We are about 10 to 12 minutes away from All-Star action for the North vs. South girls contest. This has been a Wyoming Coaches Foundation and MyLocalRadio.com partnership to bring you the 2019 WCF All-Star Games only on MyLocalRadio.com.
Thank you for tuning in to this MyLocalRadio.com exclusive of the WCF All-Star Volleyball match. The proceeding has been a wholly owned production of Cook Brothers Broadcasting, no portion of which may be used or rebroadcast without the express written consent of the aforementioned rights holder. To continue watching the WCF All-Star Weekend, go back to the MyLocalRadio.com homepage and click on the link for the girls' basketball contest, which will begin shortly.